I'm the first manager in this country since the war to get £1 million for a fight.
When you look at boxing, do you think it's a loyal sport?
Very unloyal. Yeah. I've been in this game a long time. I've worked with Frank Warren, Barry Hearn, Don King. Honestly, I never trusted. I don't even rate him.
What, Mike Tyson?
Yeah, I don't rate him that much. I think he's well overrated. He had a good year, 18 months, and that's it.
Turkey getting involved in boxing. It's a good thing.
I knew what was happening there.
Yeah.
I read it a long time ago. What you got to hope is that Turkey don't get hold of Sky Sports. If he gets Sky Sports, he's cornered it all.
What was it like being the manager of Nigel Benn?
In boxing, at the level I was at, you're either down there or up there.
Do you see a change in him, his personality? What was it like being around East London, Essex, around the time when the Essex boys' whole thing kicked off?
Well, most of my pals said it was a good thing. If somebody beat me up or hurt me, I'd kill him. Colton I've known since I was 17. Known him a long time. I worked the doors with him. And all of a sudden I felt this fucking wet down the back of my head. Didn't feel nothing going in.
Yeah.
Just felt this wet down in the back of my head. I've gone like that, it's fucking claret. But it was pouring out.
Hey guys, we've been running this podcast now for 5.5 years. We've had some most amazing business guests on here. Simon Squibb, Daniel Priestley, Barry Hearn. The list just goes on and on, from billionaires to people who have built brands. If you want to come on the podcast and talk about your business and sit here with me in the studio and tell your story, go check out dodgewoodall.com/guest and check out the 3-minute video. We've also left the link below as well. When you look at boxing, do you think it's a loyal sport?
Very unloyal.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a horrible rat race thing.
Yeah.
That's why I got out of it.
Yeah.
People say me.
But when you look now, Pete, and you see what's going on with boxing, someone flipping from that. When you look at like Eddie and AJ, I look at that and think, what a wicked partnership, what loyalty. Like, I don't think there needs to be contracts between those. Obviously got to for the paperwork with you, but I think what a brilliant relationship they've got. What are your thoughts on like people leaving people and jumping ship?
Well, I'm going to talk about that because I'm glad you answered that question, because I'm a very honest man. Now, I'm not a great lover of Eddie Hearn, but I'll tell you straight, he's loyal.
Yeah, he's loyal.
And
agree.
I'll tell you this now. His philosophy was, at first, if you really believe in me, you'll sign with me forever. That was his philosophy.
Yeah.
And what happens, at first, it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah? So the AJ started signing with him forever. At the beginning, signed with him. Then he got him to sign forever. And a couple of them done it. And then quite a few wouldn't. But he didn't give as much attention to them people who wouldn't sign. Like Usyk and all them, he made a mistake of letting him go. And, you know, a few other heavyweights. And because they wouldn't sign with him forever.
Yeah. That
was his philosophy. You had to sign with me forever for me to give you my full attention.
Okay.
And I don't see that as a bad thing. Because he has proved, for future boxers listening to me, that ain't a bad thing if he's as loyal to them. Like he's proved it.
And as if you've got the pound note behind you as well to back it up as well.
Yeah. He's got the money behind him, to do that.
Done very well.
He will only ask you to sign with him forever if he really believes in you.
Okay.
And he feels that you can do something, you know? I think Eddie's a loyal. Even Conor now was wrong, in my opinion.
What are your thoughts on Conor Benn leaving Eddie Hearn and going across to Dana White and Turkey Al Sheikh?
If I was in the manager's position for Conor, I would have been in a horrible scenario there, because it's a very hard decision. You got loyalty because the man looked after you for 10 stretch.
But not only that, but also looked after you in the period where
I know
all this shit was going on.
I know he paid his mortgages and everything.
Yeah.
And gave him a lot of dough.
Yeah.
I think he owed him nearly $500,000.
Yeah.
He gave him nearly $500,000 and he never gave him no interest back or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there was no drink on top.
No interest paid or nothing. No drink, nothing.
Okay.
So that's a loyalty for you.
Yeah.
So I respect that more than the money.
Yeah.
But then I can see Conor's argument as well, whereas he's got kids and he's got to get as much as he can. But I'll tell you this now, if he loses, everything's going to go like that.
Okay. What I meant then, drink on top, I didn't mean drink on top. I thought when Conor would pay him back, did he give him a drink on top? Because I think Eddie's fantastic going out. No interest, mate. There's your dough.
Yeah,
mate, I'm sticking with you. We're going through thick and thin.
No, he didn't give him not a tenner.
Okay.
Not a tenner.
Okay. So do you think it's a good move for Conor Benn to do what he's done, or a bad move?
I've got to answer that in this way. He's 29 years old.
Yep.
He's a welterweight. I don't ever see him fighting at 147. This is a fight to test his 147. If he can make the weight down to 150 and how he contends. He's got a lightweight going in with him at 140 fighter. So this is just a test. before they chuck him in at 147 because he could be as weak as I personally think he can only fight at 154.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I know of boxing.
Yeah.
I said it months ago. Conor Benn will never fight at 147 again. I said it on my mate's podcast, Porky's Corner. I said it to him. I said, Porky, I can never see him fighting at 147. So this fight for me is, if he can't fight at 147, he can't fight them 154 champions. They're road killers. So then you'll find he'll stay with this big money and they're getting gimmick fights.
Yeah.
And that is how I see Conor Benn's career ending now. I don't ever see him really challenging for a title.
Okay. So you don't think he'll get a world title anywhere?
I think he'll be offered.
Yeah. Okay.
He's probably been offered 2 already.
Yeah.
But you won't take them.
Why would, I'm trying to think of the mindset, why would Conor leave Eddie if you've got a brilliant relationship? Is it just purely money?
Yeah.
Or is it more, I'm going to get you into America and we're going to do this because I've got Dana White and I've got Turkey L-shape with copious amounts of money to go and do that?
Maybe the relationship's gone a bit stale. You know, if a relationship starts getting stale, it's like me. If I'm Conor's manager and Conor's coming to me and saying, Pete, I'm not really happy. I don't feel happy. I've been here too long. This is, The big question for me is, if he really has left, what does Tony Sims do? Because Tony's he's loyal to Eddie. Yeah. He's close friends with Eddie. His wife and that do businesses, the girls. Yeah. So I want to see if Tony goes.
Okay, interesting.
Because Tony will have to give up a lot.
And you're saying Tony's a good mate of yours and he's loyal as.
Yeah.
So which loyalty will he lie on? Will he lie on Matchroom and Eddie, or would he go across with Conor? That's a tough one for him, to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's only getting a percentage of the money. I think Tony will stay with Eddie. I think.
Oh, you reckon?
Oh, yeah, loyalty.
Okay.
With Tony, loyalty. Yeah.
That's nice.
Tony's loyal. Yeah.
So what will then Conor do? Have to find a new trainer?
Yeah. And
then what does that mean as a boxer when you've got to find a new trainer? I think
this fight, he'll be okay.
Okay.
But if he can't make 147, that means he's got to go in the 154 department, or 160. Yeah. He won't beat anyone at 154 because they're road killers in there at the moment. Yeah. So he'll have to jump up to 160 if he's going to stay in the boxing. I think what will happen is, I think he'll either take the Ryan Garcia fight, the belt won't be on the line. It'll be a 151, 152 fight. Yeah. He'll get it down he'll get it up as much as he can and make him, because he's a 140 fighter. Yeah. Garcia.
Yeah.
So for him,
he's got to come up.
He's got to come up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how much has Conor got to come down?
Conor's coming down at the moment from about 168.
168, is it?
Yeah, he's fighting. He's walking around at super middleweight.
Okay.
But he's got to come down to 150
Bloody hell,
for this fight. That's a lot to come on.
That's a stone. That's over a stone and 3-4 pounds. Okay.
Yeah, but when you ain't got, it's not a lot for someone like me or you.
Yeah.
Or not so much you, but me is a stone and that I could take off.
But when you're that lean already,
when you're ripped already,
yeah, okay.
You've got to get it off, and what happens? All the fluid comes off your kidneys, and you know what I mean.
And you feel weaker, don't you?
Yeah. You're shaky and you're weak.
So on that, is he looking at what weight to go at to go and guarantee a title?
Yeah. What he's looking at, I think he wants to see if he can handle 147, because I think he feels that he's got a chance, especially a 147. Yeah, he's got a chance. But I personally, if you ask me, what do you think Conor's doing in his career? I think Conor is only going to do the gimmick fights because the money's there.
Okay.
He's not interested in the belts. Fuck the belts.
Okay.
What does he want a belt for?
Yeah.
When you're getting 10 mil.
But do you not think like boxers go in there to win the belts and the money is like the nice thing that comes with it? Or is it changed to go, do you know what? I just need to secure my grandchildren, great-grandchildren for life.
Look, if Conor had won the Southern area and the British and the European, say, or the Commonwealth, his attitude would have been totally different. He might have gone for the belts. Because he's won nothing, what does it matter? He ain't never fucking won nothing, has he? He's won an international belt that ain't worth tuppence. The only reason he's won the international belt, the only reason he fought for the international belt, or these kids fight for it. Yeah. The one reason is they can fight a 10-round fight or a 12-round fight. If not, you can't. You see what I'm saying? You can only do 8 rounds.
Okay.
Or 10 rounds. But when you got a belt, you can fight for 12 rounds. Yeah. Even though it costs you a couple of quid to go but what it does, it gets you ready if you're going up.
Propelled to go.
Yeah, if you're going up to fight for a title, you need to do 12 rounds. You need fighters to take you 12 rounds. It's good. Yeah? But if you can't, if you like Conor, he's got to decide, does he want to stay in this professional boxing or stay where he is in gimmick fighting? Yeah. This fight is only testing him to see. And he ain't getting 15 mil for this fight.
No, they said it's 15 mil.
No, you ain't getting 15 mil for this fight.
Is it not?
No.
What do you reckon he's getting?
Nah, he's
Isn't it 50? It's not 15 million pound. It's in dollars, isn't it?
Yeah, $15 million.
Which is 10 mil.
No, it's 11 mil.
11 mil. Okay.
Yeah, 11 mil.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you reckon he's not getting that for that one fight?
No.
So why would he? I don't know what's going on in the detail. But would you?
Contracts.
But would you, if you were Conor, would you go, Eddie, mate, I've got this offer. Dana White's just banged me up. Did they have that? Did they?
He did that, but he gave him 3 days to decide.
After a phone call, or was it through lawyers?
I don't know. I think it might have been through lawyers, but what they'd done was they give him 3 days, Eddie, 3 days to match the offer.
Or they're off.
But there was one stipulation in there. I don't know what the stipulation was that Eddie weren't happy with. I did see that from somebody.
I'd like to know what that stipulation. If anyone knows, I'd love to see in the comments what it is.
There was a stipulation in it that Eddie wasn't happy with. I think he was prepared to match the money.
Yeah.
But it was the stipulation.
What do you reckon went on before that, though? Because if you've got a good relationship with someone, would you not just go?
It's hard.
Like, I've got a phone call, mate. Can you just have a chat to see, where we stand? I'm not playing you off against anyone, but
the question
I just want to see.
The one question I'd like to ask is, did he sit down with Tony and have a good chat? Because Tony is like his dad over here.
Okay.
Tony's like his dad.
So do you think Tony might have advised him?
No, I don't think Tony would advise him to leave Eddie.
Not advised, but going, there's an offer there. You got to look at it.
Yeah, you've got to look at it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, everybody's got to look at it.
Yeah, of course. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, 15 million. But where I was going to finish off there is $15 million. When you ask what would he do, he's got to also look at his age.
29.
He's 29.
How old? When did he peak?
Well, he's peaking now.
Now, 20. Okay.
Yeah, but a welterweight. Yeah. I mean, 147. What you got to remember is, in these smaller weights, the older you are, the quicker you're finished. So he ain't got long left in the game. If he's good, you might get away with 34, 33.
Yeah.
But these young weights, 32, 31, you're on the way out, mate.
Yeah. I like Conor. I like Conor a lot. I like him. I like his I like him a lot. I like his fighting style. What did you think on the first fight with Conor and Chris Eubank? Because that was a brilliant fight. And then what did you notice in the second fight? What was up with Chris Eubank in the second fight? And Conor was great, don't get me wrong. But what happened there?
Well, the first fight, Chris Eubank made the weight. It hurt him. It hurt him.
Yeah.
And but after receiving all that punishment, and then the second fight, he was just not just only fatigued and physically,
mentally drained.
Yeah. I mean, he took a good beating.
Yeah.
It's like Nigel and Eubank's first fight. Yeah, the dads. The first fight, they went at it. The second fight, they was wary.
Yeah.
Because they knew
what was coming.
Yeah, so it was a boxing match. If you look at it, it weren't really a fight.
Yeah.
People were expecting what happened in the first fight.
Yeah. Did you know from your experience that the first fight was so brutal between Conor and... Because Conor put it on him and Eubank put it on him. Did you sense that the second fight, from your experience, ain't going to be as good as that first fight?
Yeah, I knew. I thought that, I thought it was going to be a totally different fight, which it turned out to be.
Yeah.
Conor was fighting Conor the first fight.
Yeah.
Conor sort of knew it all. You couldn't tell him nothing. Then he realised, hold on a minute.
I've got to box him.
Yeah, I've got to listen to somebody else. I don't know it all. And I don't mean that in a big-headed way that he knew it all. I mean, like, he just thought, I'm going to go in there. I'm fit. I can do 12 hard rounds. Yeah. I'm going to put it on him. Yeah. And that's what Nigel used to be like. I'm going to put it on him for 12 hard rounds. But then sometimes you've got to go, well, hold on, this fight, I've got to be a bit smarter. And if he wasn't smart, he'd have probably got beat. But the second one, he got in there, he was so weight drained.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so weight drained. It was unbelievable. But...
Why did it seemed like Chris couldn't get going? Like, you see him, he just couldn't get going. But Conor looked like full of beans.
Well, I spoke to a few friends I know in boxing, and I'll tell you something that not a lot of people know. Only I know. Chris Eubank only took that second fight because he owed a lot of money in Vegas. He's a gambler, you know that.
Okay, I've heard, okay.
Yeah, and he owed, for instance, the footballer Neymar.
Okay.
He owed him $750,000.
You're joking me. On what? For what?
Gambling. Yeah, he owed a lot of money out. That's why he took the second fight.
Oh, God, okay.
Yeah. And I'm not being funny, by the time the third one comes along, because it will happen at 168.
Oh, you reckon they'll come back and do it? It's got to, isn't it?
If Conor can't get any other fights, they will come back around, Unless he's what Eddie Hearn's got the ump about. He's going to lose out on that. He thinks he's going to lose out on that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Or they might bring it over in America because he fights in Vegas now.
Yeah.
He lives in Vegas now. He's got his place in Brighton, Eubank.
Chris, yeah,
Yeah, but
okay.
he's still got. He lives in Vegas.
That fight can't be in America. It's got to be in England. It's got to be a stadium filler again.
Yeah,
Gotta
maybe.
be.
Yeah, maybe.
For the fans. I know the money talks. What are your thoughts on Turkey getting involved in boxing? Do you think it's a good thing?
I knew what was happening there.
Yeah.
I read it a long time ago. Eddie, Frank,
Yeah.
get them involved, and then bring in Tyson's bloke. What's his name? Who's new to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's clueless. He's just a yes man for Turkey.
Yeah.
Get them together. Suck all the information out of their brains.
I forgot.
Read the situations. Ask them questions. You know, you can imagine he's asking them all sorts, clocking it all down. Or the room's probably bugged, so he can go back over the conversations. And what did he do? Both of them. Yeah, and now Frank's gonna. How can Frank Warren take him to court in Riyadh?
Yeah.
What chance has he got?
Yeah.
He'd just be wasting his money. And then what'll happen is, if worse comes to the worst, he'll just give him a couple of mil outside of court.
Yeah.
No problem with them, is it?
Yeah.
You know,
What's Frank taking him to court for?
because originally Frank signed a contract with them to be involved in promotions.
For how long?
For so many promotions. I don't know the length of the
Detail,
time,
okay.
but what I do know is he's signed to be part of the promotion.
Yeah.
For maybe 2 Riyadh seasons, 1 Riyadh season. I don't know. So I'm not going to say I don't know. But what I do know is that's what the argument's about. I'm supposed to be on these. My men are supposed to be on these bills,
And he just cut me off.
and you've cut me off. Now I'm left with all these heavyweights that I've took on.
Yeah.
They're getting no money. They're getting no fights.
Okay.
What am I going to do now? He's lumbered with them. So what it means is, what their arguments are, I've now got to dip in my pocket and put shows on in England with my money, and I don't want to touch my money. I want you to spend yours. You know what I mean? In Riyadh.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there comfortable,
Yeah.
walking in like I'm a king. Free food, free hotels, free flights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not touching my money, and I'm getting a 20% of everything.
Yeah.
That's what Frank wants. But now he's got to put his hand in his pocket to put his fighters on in here.
What a dream come true for Frank and Eddie. One, for them to get back to for the fan. No, but back in then, because when I speak to Baz, he said I'll never. I won't do a podcast with Frank and Baz at the same time, etc. Family stuff, whatever's gone on.
Yeah.
But to see Eddie and Frank join up, I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah,
and I know they make a great duo. It's great to see. But do you think that will change now, or they'll carry on being a duo and trying to compete?
I know
against
that'll
that?
change.
That'll change. Okay.
Yeah, that will change definitely. Yeah. Frank will do his own thing, which he's trying to do now.
Yeah.
What you got to hope is that Turkey don't get hold of Sky Sports, which is I've heard he's getting Sky Sports. If he gets Sky Sports, that means he's got a percentage in DAZN, Paramount, and then it's Sky Sports.
Mate, yeah.
So he's cornered it all.
Yeah.
Then all they're going to do is basically have small hall shows.
Yeah.
Back to small hall shows, really, because they'll have no TV. They'll have DAZN and that,
Yeah.
but only what Turkey says. He'll get the main fights and they'll get a little bit on the undercard.
Yeah. Wow.
Because he's got, I think it's 13% in DAZN.
Yeah.
And then he's got Paramount. And now he's got Netflix.
Yeah. Got Netflix as well.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
now he's going to, I've heard, he's taking over Sky.
Why do you think he teamed up with Dana White from UFC?
Well, he's got to have somebody in
America.
Yeah, in America to promote it.
Yeah.
You need
Who's the
promotion.
best?
Yeah, and there's 350 million people there. You know what I mean? So you've got to have a promotion.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if he's UFC or
He
not.
likes Dana White.
Yeah.
He's got to have someone.
Yeah.
And you can't do that with Bob
Arum.
Bob Arum.
Yeah,
he won't be around long. He's
that's
90 odd.
Yeah. Still good though, isn't it?
I worked with Bob Arum 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I worked with Bob Arum.
Fair play to him, still being on the scene, right?
Yeah, and he's got his marbles.
He has, hasn't he?
But he was a crook. He was a tax inspector.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he?
Did you know that?
No,
He worked
I
for the
didn't know.
HMRC.
Did he?
Yeah, he was a tax inspector.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know a lot about boxing.
Yeah.
I've been in this game a long time. I've worked with Frank Warren, Barry Hearn, Don King, Bob Arum. I've worked with loads of them. All of them. Felly Shingle.
Oh, yeah.
I've worked with them all.
Yeah. Why do you know you said a minute ago, like you were, like, with a roll back, I don't know, half hour ago, whatever, you were talking about when Barry had Chris Eubank and then Nigel as well, and you always felt second place. Is that the same as like Eddie having AJ and then Usyk on the scene, and Usyk was like, I don't want...
I think,
Is that the same vibe? I think Usyk is unbelievable. One, as a human being.
Oh, yeah, he's brilliant.
He's switched on, very humble, calm,
quality,
wonderful fighter.
Quality.
He ticks all the boxes, doesn't he?
Quality.
Yeah.
He could fight in any era.
Yeah.
None of the others could.
Yeah.
I mean, I could name you in the 90s. I could name you fighters now that would beat all these fighters and they're only in the top 10.
Who in the 90s would beat the heavyweights of today?
Riddick Bowe.
Yeah.
One, Riddick Bowe. Lennox would, obviously. Lennox, Riddick Bowe. Even Holyfield would have beat most of them. They wouldn't have got in the ring. And then you got the others in the 90s. Oh, Christ, my memory.
Obviously Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson, yeah, but I don't even rate him.
What, Mike Tyson?
Yeah, I don't rate him that much. I think he's well overrated. He had a good year, 18 months, and that's it. What did he do? All the good fighters.
I just think because he was so young.
Yeah, but all the good fighters, he got him if he got beat.
Yeah.
He thought Lennox got beat, thought Holyfield got beat. You know, all the good fighters beat him.
Yeah.
All the
I went that fight, Mike Tyson, Holyfield in Vegas. I think that was what, 96 or 97?
Yeah. I'll tell you another thing that goes on that you don't know, a lot of people don't understand in this game is the fighter's been training for 8 weeks solid. Then they get a phone call, someone gets a phone call with 2 weeks' notice. They got to drain their weight down, but they don't say no because of the money.
Yeah, okay.
So they get in now with 2-3 weeks' notice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'll tell you who was an expert at that. Canelo.
Yeah.
Late opponents, late night, addicted, added to the opponent, him. Canelo, he done it all the time.
Yeah.
Look what he done to Smithy from Liverpool. Callum Smith. Callum Smith got in the ring with 3 weeks notice, but the last week is all publicity.
Yeah, okay.
So you got 2 weeks to train.
Yeah.
And he still went the distance, but I reckon he would have beat him if he had had a good solid 8 week.
Who do you reckon's the best British boxer sitting there today?
British
heavyweight.
Oh, it's got to be
Moses.
It's got to be Moses at all. Yeah, he's coming. He looks really good. He's a southpaw and all, doesn't he? Yeah, he looks good.
Do you reckon he would ever fight AJ?
Nah, that's AJ's boat sold, mate.
Do you reckon AJ would ever fight Tyson Fury?
I'm going to be honest with you now. I don't ever see AJ fighting again. I might be totally wrong, but I just don't think mentally he'll be right. He's lost 2 very close friends who not only
are his right-hand men.
Yeah, only are they just friends, they was his right-hand men. They was his trainers, part of his camp, part of his team.
Nutrition, a lot.
Yeah.
I can
remember once I had an argument with Nigel. I said, fuck this, I'm going home. This was in training camp.
Yeah.
I went, fuck it, I'm getting a flight, I'm going home. Oh, no. Because he knew mentally Pete ain't here. Yeah. They would have done him up. Yeah. You know, if it wasn't during the camp, he might have said, oh, fuck off. You know what I mean? But I know that mentally he knew that, you know, these fighters, they know.
They need, yeah.
And I don't see him ever being ready. He might say now, oh, yeah, I'll fight. The only fight he might get out for is if it's Tyson Fury. But I'll tell you why that fight's never happened.
Why?
Because both sides have got commitments with sponsors.
Yeah.
And he ain't going to come second to your sponsor, and your sponsor ain't going to come second to him, so they can't never get it on. The dates, the times.
But do you not think this is the perfect time to get it on? You've got Frank and Eddie there going,
well, what are they going to prove? They're both shot to bits.
Yeah, but I think I would pay. I'd pay for most fights, but I'm saying the nation would want to see that, whether they are 2 years over the top or whatever, a year over the top, whatever. I think the whole nation would pay, and it'd be a massive payday for both of them, and it'd give us an answer.
See, a fit Tyson Fury, would outbox AJ.
Yeah,
but an unfit Tyson Fury would get yourself knocked out by AJ.
Yeah.
So it's either he gives it 100% for his old camp, because he's a big puncher, AJ, you know, and he's always fit. But for me, he's a little bit like Frank Bruno, where he's only fit for 8 rounds.
Yeah.
After 8 rounds, a shot.
Yeah.
So I mean, when Bruno fought Lewis, he was winning the fight up to 8 rounds. Then he got stopped. He was on the cards, scorecards, winning. Yeah. See, these British fighters, a lot of them, and you know what causes it?
Go on.
They're so ripped, they've got no oxygen in their body. Their muscles need the oxygen that's in there to survive. You've got to have a bit of fat on you. Especially at heavyweight.
Frank was in great nick, wasn't he?
Yeah, but look at all these good... Frank.
Frank was unbelievable,
He was in my camp when he fought Tyson.
Was he?
Yeah, he was in my camp. I was with him every day. The second fight.
Yeah.
I was with him every day. My trainer, Kevin Saunders, he went over to America to work the corner with him. Yeah, he was in my camp for that fight.
How would you explain Frank Bruno at his peak as a bloke? Not as a boxer, as a bloke.
Tight as fuck, man. What a tight geezer, man. I'll never forget the sparring partner come up to me one day. He goes, Americans, they're 6'9", the sparring partners, and he's fighting a geezer 5'10". And I couldn't make it out myself mentally. like that. So Frank Bruno, he gave him £17 a day for food. Great big grown men. Admittedly, that was 25 years ago, or whatever, But yeah, he was in my camp for that fight.
Get on well with him?
Yeah. I know Frank's East London boy, he like me. Yeah. So he used to call me Mr. DeFreitas.
Is that what he called you? Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, Nathan Peter.
Yeah.
Mr. DeFreitas.
Quality.
Yeah.
What was it like being the manager of Nigel Benn?
What was an experience coming from just being like a ordinary guy, working the doors and, the clubs and that, and then getting that opportunity. I grasped it, with 2 hands and never looked back, really. It was amazing. It was amazing.
How did it actually come about? Did you know Nigel before you become his manager? Or
No, what happened was I was working in a restaurant in Stratford, East London, on the door. It was they had a big restaurant called the Phoenix Apollo, and next door they had a wine bar called Joanna's. And I used to run both of them, like with my friend. We were on the doors there. And Nigel used to come in there. And all the celebrities used to go there. It was like a big celebrity bar, really.
Yeah.
It wasn't really much public. It was all celebrities. And he started coming there. We got talking. And then it was I think it was 89, around that time, 90. So I'm not really great on dates, but it was around about that time. And he was fighting Michael Watson in the tent in Finsbury Park.
Yeah.
And he was getting ready for the fight. And sometimes he'd come in lunchtime, have a bit of lunch while he was after training. And then I'd be there as well during the day because I was mates with him as well. So I used to go in there all the time. And then he'd come in, and then one day my boss, who I worked for at the time, Gilly, he pulled me aside. He said, Pete, he said, he's fighting at the Finsbury Park. I said, yeah. He said, I've been offered to do the tent there for the celebrities. He said, could you get some security and do the security there for me for the celebrities? He said, he wants us to walk in the celebrities into their seat and everything, I said, yeah, okay. So I had nothing to do with the boxing in that fight, but I run the security for the celebrities. So that's how we basically met and got talking over that. And then I could go a little bit deep if you want. And then he wanted me, we got talking and friendly. And he went, I've heard about you, because I'm from East London the same. He's from Ilford and I'm from like Wanstead area, where I used to knock around. He went, yeah, I've heard a lot about you. He goes, you're a bit of a lad, aren't you? I said, well, I'm as game as anybody else. I said, I stay in my corner, like. So he said, yeah. We got talking, and after about a couple of weeks, he came round to my house one day. And he was telling me about the army when he was in the Royal Fusiliers and all that. And then I said, come here, I'll show you something. So I took him upstairs. I lifted up the bed, and I had a Savage pump there, and I had a 45 and a speed holster with Oliver Point bullets in it. So he's gone to me, what's this? So I said, this is a Savage pump. I said, do you know what that is? He said, no, what's that? I said, well, that's an American riot gun. I said, you can unscrew the barrel off of the shotgun.
Yeah.
And screw another barrel on which you can pump 45s out of it as well. He went, oh, look at that. Anyway, he's picked it up and he's pulled the gun out of the holster and everything. I said, are you mad? He's gone, what do you mean? I said, you're taking out gear out of the gun and that. I said, you're putting your hands all over it. I said, supposing I'll go on a bit of work tonight. I said, your dabs are all over it. He went, oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. I went, oh, God. And that's how we basically first met.
Yeah.
And then he stayed away for a couple of months. I think he crapped his pants a bit because he knew then I had the gear right me. He weren't just all talk, Yeah. And then a couple of months later, after the fight, he got beat. He went to me, Pete, can I have a word? So I said, yeah. He said, look, I got beat by Watson. He says, I'm gutted. He said, but if I'm going to be a world champion, he said, I've got to pack my bags and go to America. He said, I've got a trainer sorted out there. He said, would you come out there with me and look after me? It's not that he can't look after himself.
He still needs a layer. He needs a layer around him. Yeah.
Also, his hands, his money.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, I'll speak to the wife and let you know. So I spoke to my wife. She said, if you want to go out there, you go out there. As long as she can get her money to eat and that.
Yeah.
So I had a deal with him, done a deal. And then I went out to America with him. And that's it. From that day on, we never split from each other.
Really?
Yeah, we stayed every day together, friends. And even away from boxing, we stayed friends.
Mm. How long were you in America for, that first one?
Well, we lived in an apartment in Collins Avenue in Miami Beach, Florida. We stayed out there, and we was on the second floor. We was there 8 weeks at a time. Then we come home, have the fight, and then we go back out there. It was quite a trap, really, because we used to train in the Fontainebleau, the hotel doing the weights in the morning.
Yeah.
Then we used to go down the 5th Street in Miami where Muhammad Ali trained after lunch. And then in the evening, we'd do our runs on the beach, up and down, like miles down the beach and back again. So we was there about 8 weeks at a time, and then come back home.
And what was it? And what was the point when he said, "Right, now you're looking after me in America and all that"? Did he ever come to a point and said, "I want you to be my manager"?
No, that was my suggestion.
Okay.
He never once mentioned manager.
Did he not? Okay.
No, what happened was that's quite a good story because I worked with him, and then what happened was he said to me, "Look, go and get your license, and you can work the corner. You know, you can help out in the corner." And that. So I said, "Okay." So I'd studied, got my license as a trainer second, and then I'd done that. And then what happened was I started to do everything for him, more and more and more. And he trusted me because he knew I wouldn't rip him off. I'm straight.
Yeah.
I had nothing to lose really, so he knew I was straight, and he was very good to me. So I'd done that, and then what happened was when he got asked about the Eubank fight, I started to get more involved with the promoters.
Yeah.
Like at the time was Barry Earn.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to Barry now, and I'm sorting out the problems. So what happened was going back one step before I jumped into the Chris Eubank.
Yeah.
Going back one step, what happened was where I really proved myself to Nigel was in 2 ways. The first one was he was knocked for a lot of money off of the guy. I don't know if you know the manager of Level 42. His name was Paul Croxford. Right. Well, what happened was he knocked Nigel for about, I think it was about 40, 50 grand for the fight that he had with Robbie Sims.
Yes.
It's supposed to have been in the NEC Birmingham. Anyway, that didn't materialise, so they brought it down to York Hall. So he said to Nigel, "Well, I can't pay you NEC money. I'm going to have to pay you York Hall money." Nigel went, "I'm not getting in the ring." So they done a deal, and afterwards he didn't want to pay Nigel. So he knocked him. So Nigel said to me, "That's that, you know, I don't really want to swear.
Yeah.
No, that's the UNT's. He knocked me for money, Pete. Can you get my dough?" I said, "Yeah, I'll get your dough." So he's gone, all right. He said, "If you get the dough," he goes, "Look, I'm going to fly to Miami now. You stay here, sort that out. If you get the dough, ring me and let me know." So I said, "Okay." So I rang Paul Croxford up. So I said, "Look, I'm Nigel Benn's manager now." I said, "My name's Pete DeFreitas. I'll give you 24 hours. Do your own work, and then I'll ring you back tomorrow. You can either tell me how you're going to pay me, or you can tell me to F off."
Yeah.
I said, "And I'll deal with it my way." So the next day I rang him back. He's gone, "I'll pay you." So I said, "Okay, cheers." So he said, "Can we come to a deal?"
Yeah.
So I said, "Yeah, of course." I said, "I'll have a deal with you." So we went and met in a pub in North London, and I sat there and I had a deal with him. I said to him, "Look, if you're going to pay me pound notes, the money I would give to the tax people, you can give to, we take that." So he's gone, "Yeah, that's fair." So anyway, we done a deal. Anyway, I got a lump off him. I rang Nigel up in my mouth. I said, "I've got your dough minus the tax." I said, "I've done a deal with him for cash."
Yeah.
He's going, "Oh, wicked. He said, "Go and put it in my account and fly out here." I said, "Do what?" He's going, "Go and put it in my bank account in Tooley Street." This is a NatWest in Tooley Street. He said, "Go and put it in my account." He goes, "See the manager." He said, "Sort it out," and he put it in. I said, "No, you're going to have to pay tax on that." I said, "Don't be stupid. This pie and mash." I said, "A bit of cash here."
Yeah.
So he's gone, "Oh, yeah, I didn't think about it." I was like, "All right." So anyway, he said, "Get on the next plane and come out. Leave the money at home." He said, "And come out." So I said, "Okay." So I went out there, stayed with him. And he said, "Man, I want you to stay with me all the time now."
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that happened. And then...
Was that the main bit of big respect?
That was the trust.
Yeah, that was the trust bit.
Because
yes.
I could have stole the money and said, "I got nothing."
Or you could have chipped, you could have done anything.
Yeah, I could have nicked, 35, 40 grand or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And said nothing and said I didn't get jack.
Yeah.
And if he said, "Oh, I'll give it to him," I could have said, "You lying." You know,
Yeah.
No one would have been the wiser, and I would have walked around with 40 grand.
Yeah.
But I got 10, 100 times that in the end, didn't I?
Yeah.
You see what I mean by being honest?
Yeah.
So I went out there. Then when we come back,
What was he like when you arrived, when you went there? Can you remember what?
he was.
Was he buzzing?
Yeah, he was buzzing.
Yeah.
He liked me because he knew I was
Straight.
Yeah, I'm a straight guy. I'm an honest guy.
Yeah.
I don't fuck my own people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I won't do that.
Yeah.
You know, so he knows that. And I was with him in the end, I think 8 years or something like that, and I never stole a penny off him once. Never. To this day, I can look him in the eye. You know.
Yeah.
And then we went back, and he told Barry and deal with Peter from now on.
Okay.
So that was that. So that's how it basically started.
Quality.
So then I started talking to Barry.
And what was that like for you then, when you're going into this world? Like you got your head switched on, You're a lot younger back then. What was it like you chatting to Barry Earn, who was a face back then as a promoter and what have you?
At first, it don't really sink in, and then all of a sudden, it hits you, doesn't it? You know, it's like, at first, you're just doing, I'm going to see Barry tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then when you sit back and take a step back and look, you go, oh, shit, I've been now done with a former, like a future world champion in your hands. Yeah. So anyway, Barry, I said to Barry, look, we're getting back in the world title scene. You know, we want to get back on the title scene. So we had a couple of fights with him. And, you know, they're all your best mates when you're buzzing, you know what I mean, when you're up there. And then he said to me, I can get the Mauro Galvano fight.
In Italy?
Yeah.
Okay. What year was this roughly?
That was
92, 90.
Yeah, somewhere around about 92. Okay, around about that time. Yeah. So he said to me, I've got the Mauro Galvano fight. In England, he was going to do it. So I said, yeah. So, okay, we was all set. Me, Nigel, Jimmy Tibbs was ready to go away to start training camp in Tenerife. Yeah. Because we moved our training camp from Miami over to Tenerife because it was nearer home. Yeah. And we also had the mountains. You could run up Mount Teide and all that, you know.
And it's warm.
Yeah, and it's warm, exactly. So not so humid as Miami. Yeah. Yeah, because that's humid there. So I've got this fight now lined up for Mauro Galvano in Great Britain. Then I get a phone call in Tenerife from Barry Earn. Pete, the fight's off. I said, he'll go fucking apeshit. I said, what? He's gone, the fight's off. Galvano don't want the fight now. He broke up with his manager and he don't want the fight. I said, you're joking. So I said, look, Barry, I said, I said, I've got to tell him. So I called Nigel and Jimmy into the room. I'll never forget, in the middle of the room was a great big, like, round coffee table, like glass. And I've called Nigel and Jimmy and I said, look, I've got some bad news, lads. I've gone, what's the matter? So Nigel looked at me, because he knows if I say that, because you don't tell fighter bad news during training, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I've got bad news. Nigel said, the fight's off. He said, you're fucking joking. I said, no. He just went crash straight through the glass with his hand. I thought, oh, fuck, he's broke all his hand up there. But luckily, he didn't cut. So he said, Pete, get on a plane, go home and sort it out. I want that fight. I don't care where it is. I want that fight. So I said, okay. So I jumped on the plane. So I've made arrangements with Barry to go in. So I've gone into Barry's office and I've looked at him straight in the eyes, angry, you know. And I've gone, this fight's got to happen, Barry. Now, he knows who I am because he's obviously done his own work. Yeah. So he knows I'm a face. Right? So he's gone, but Pete, he don't want to fight. I said, Bell, I've flown all the way back here. I said, I've told him to continue training because I said, I've got full faith in you that you're going to get this fight for me. And I looked him straight in the eyes. I said, I'm staying here till you get it. I said, I want a title fight. So I said, we're training now. And I was angry, you know, and he could see it in me, but I was calm with it as well. But so after about 2 days, he rang me. He said, can you come in, Peter? I said, yes. I went back there and he went, I've got you to fight. But it's in Italy. I said, I don't care. I said, we'll take it. Yeah. So he said, I said, we know we've got to knock him out twice to get a draw out there. You know what I mean? I said, but we will knock him out. And that's eventually what happened now. Yeah. So Nigel knew that I had problems and then I sorted that.
You solve it. Yeah,
I solved it without bothering him.
Yes.
So he could train. I wasn't on the phone to him every 5 minutes going, I've done it right. Yeah. And he watched and sort of, he didn't say much, but he watched. Yeah. I knew he was watching to see if I could handle the situations. So then flew back out, we got the fight, went out there and we done the business. So that was that. And at the time I was classed as his personal assistant. Oh. Basically not manager, but personal assistant. Yeah. I didn't like that title anyway, because it looks like a little lap, doesn't it? A little Joey, you know, and I'm not no one's fucking Joey, you know what I mean? So, I don't like that. So we done that fight, and then obviously the talk was Eubank.
But before we go to Eubank, I want to delve a bit deeper into that fight though, because you're going into Italy. What was it? What was the vibe like there? Was it racist? Mate, what was it? What was it? Tell me what the vibe going into.
They were chucking coins at us, sharpening coins at us. We stayed in a place called Castel del Randolfo. Yeah. It's where the Pope's got his summer palace. We stayed there, lovely and quiet, lovely little place. We stayed there, and then we had to go to Rome, capital of Rome, to have our medicals and all that. So we went to Rome. We saw Galvano there, and he shit himself.
He did? What, in the hotel?
Yeah, no, in the medical centre.
Okay.
And Nigel looked him straight in the eyes and he crapped his pants.
Did he?
Yeah, he bottle went. He didn't want it with Nigel. because he knew
I'm not
Nigel was
surprised, by the way.
Nah, Nigel hurts you when he hits you, mate. Trust me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, win, lose, or draw, you know you're in a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, we went there, and then we come back to the medical centre, and they was doing everything they could to put us off. You know, noisy hotel, traffic right outside, banging, all that crap went on. You know, but Nigel was so focused. He says, "I'm going to hurt him," you know, and he was up for it big time. But when we beat him, we got the decision. They was throwing coins in at us, everything. I had to have. Luckily, I had about half a dozen of 10. My pals turned up from. I flew out there, so they all come and wrapped around me. My brother was with me. One of my brothers, he's a doorman as well. He was out there with me. So we had a bit of our own security, but we needed it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like a smash and grab. Get in, get out.
Yeah, well,
get a belt.
Yeah. That was exactly it.
Yeah.
Smash and grab, mate. Because that was a dangerous place.
Yeah.
They hated us.
Was there racism out there?
No, not. I didn't notice racism,
No.
to be fair. But what I did notice was obviously they didn't like Nigel. Whether it was because he was black, I don't know. Whether, they just didn't like him. I don't suppose they knew too much about him. They just knew he was a big puncher.
Yeah.
Because, Galvano, he's not a bad fighter, but he was a big super middleweight as well. He fought at super light heavy before that and after.
Yeah.
So he was.
And what belt did Nigel bring back?
WBC.
The C, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
WC, the number one belt. Yeah, that was it.
And then what was that feeling like when you were out there, knowing you'd done a smash and grab? Now you're back in England. You're like, right now Nigel's available for the bigger.
Yeah, at first we didn't know we won it because he had to go to the supervisors there because they was trying to say, "Oh no, we retired."
TKO, wasn't it?
Yeah, but no, what happened was he sat on his stall at the end of the third round and wouldn't come out for the fourth. But where he made the mistake was his corner didn't call the referee over during the break, the 1 minute break.
Right.
You're supposed to call the referee over and say no more. But what he done is he waited till the bell went for round 4.
Right.
And then he went no more. So the fight really is deemed round 4 TKO.
Right. Okay.
Because he retired on his stall.
Okay.
So that's where he made a big fuck up. So he went to the supervisors and he tried to say to the supervisors, no, we said in round 3 we don't want to fight. They went, no. The bell went for round 4. You were still active to come out for round 4.
Yeah.
So you didn't.
Yeah.
So they give Nigel.
What did that do when you got back to England? What did that, him winning the belts and he was in the back of the newspapers and what did that do for you personally and Nigel and your relationship when you got back to the UK?
Well, worldwide or UK-wide, immensely.
Yeah.
Immensely, but where I come from, obviously everybody knows me anyway. I'm bigger than Nigel Benn where I come from.
Yeah.
But universally and obviously everybody started to know me then.
Yeah.
And then, as you say, it gets bigger and bigger, doesn't it? Travelling around the country, fighting all different places and going all around the world. Very fortunate,
Do you know how much Nigel got for that fight in Italy?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
How much?
For the fight in Italy, he got about 400,000, I think.
400, was it?
Yeah, around about that figure, yeah.
And then when he came back for the Eubank, so that was 92, and that Eubank then, was Eubank the next fight?
I'd have to look it up, but I think it was Eubanks after Galvano. Galvano won the world title. No, I think we made one defence. I think we made it one defence and then Eubanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, one defence and then Eubanks. And then what happened was I was with Don King at the time. Because what happened was the deal was I was with Barry Hearn as my promoter.
Yeah.
And then
Good bloke, Barry.
Yeah, he's okay, yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, he's okay, yeah, Barry, yeah. He's quite a straight dude, but the only trouble with us was he was a Eubank man. He wanted Eubank to beat Ben every time. So
he was Eubank's best man at his wedding.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So did he promoted Eubank
from
and
day
Ben?
one, yeah.
And Steve Collins?
At the same time, yeah. At the same time.
At the same time?
Yeah, at the same time. So we was always the second best.
Right, okay.
Second choice. Everything was to suit Chris Eubank first and then Ben second.
How did that make you feel when you knew that?
Well, I told Nigel that we got to be very careful.
Okay.
So I was always on the ball. Because what happened was I got a phone call saying Barry Hearn can't do the fight on his own.
Yeah.
He hadn't got enough money to do the Ben Eubank fight because it was a big fight. So what they done was they had to bring Frank Warren in with Don King. Well, sorry, they had to bring Don King in with the money, and he was associated over here with Frank Warren.
Okay.
So then it became a 3-way promoters deal.
What?
Yeah.
What? 33%, 33%.
I don't know what.
Don't know
no,
what it was.
I don't know what their
Okay.
deal was, but my deal.
But it was Frank and Don
Well,
looking after.
how it works is Don King can't promote it over here unless he's got an English promoter.
That's right.
So he needed Frank Warren, who
Yes.
he worked with,
Yeah.
over here.
Okay.
So Frank.
They'd have had a divvy up together, and then it was Barry on the other side.
Then
Okay.
Barry, so Barry might have got 50%,
Yeah.
and they split up whatever
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's how I would have sussed it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was only interested in what we got and what we was promised, because I got pulled into Barry Earn's office and he said to me, "Oh, Pete, we'll pay you this much, and then what we do is we'll see how the gate goes, and then we'll give you some of the gate money." And I said, "Look, what's on that paper is what I want. I don't care about the gate money.
Yeah.
You're an accountant, I'm not."
Yeah.
I said, you'll have them figures looking shit, you know what I mean? I said, so what I want is what's on the contract. That's all I want, no more. So what happened was, I said to Nigel, now, look, if we take this fight, Nigel, we've got to be really careful because they're going to try and shaft us. And with Nigel, a lot of the time, he does believe in trust and shake your hand and he's word is your bond, because he's like me, he's a Cockney boy who, that back in the day was a big way, as you know.
Yeah.
You know, handshaking our day was everything.
Yeah.
You know, and it still is for me.
Same.
You know. So what happened was, I said to Nigel, we're going to have to be very careful here. So when Don King's involved, you've got to be extra dicey.
Yeah.
So I made it straight clear that I ain't signing nothing on Don King papers. It's got to be on British papers, British Boxing Board of Control papers.
Yeah.
So that was very stipulated very clearly. And then what Don King done was he's typed out all the contracts. And in the contract, he forgot to put if there's a draw. Only what is, we give him 3 options, and Chris Eubank gives him 3 options if whoever wins or whoever loses.
Yeah.
If he wants the loser, he can still keep the loser. That's his choice. But if you win the fight, you actually have to give him 3 options, 3 fight options.
Okay.
So that was on the condition of the contract. So what happened was, I said to Nigel, we got to be careful here. So I wanted £1 million. Right.
Up front.
In my head. No.
In your head.
No.
Just at the end of the fight, I want to
I didn't even tell Nigel this.
Yeah,
I'd been to Don's office.
Yeah.
And I flew from Miami over to Los Angeles where Nigel was staying. And I flew over to Nigel. And I said to Nigel, this is where the management come in. So I said to Nigel, I'm doing a lot here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went to him, look, Nigel, how much do you want for the fight against Chris Eubank? So he's gone, well, I can say it now because the fight's over. So I said, he said, well, if I can get 700 grand, I'll be happy. So I said, okay. I said, I'll tell you what I do, Nigel. Now, I knew in my head what I could get because I'm already reading these people, even though they think I'm from the street or whatever. I'm a little bit smarter than they give me credit for. You know, even Don King said I'm smart at the end. So I said to him, I'll tell you what, Nigel, I'll have a deal with you. He said, what's that? I said, if I get you £1 million for the fight, I want my percentage. I said, I want to be a manager, a legal licensed manager. I said, that's my what I want. Yeah. My agreement. So he's gone. All right. So he thought about it for about a minute, 2 minutes, and he went, okay. He said, the condition is, Pete, it's on a yearly basis. It's not 3 years. Yeah. Because you don't want to get tied up if there's an argument or whatever, you know. So I said, yeah, that's fine, Nigel. I said, because we're mates anyway. So I haven't got a problem with that. Because as far as I was concerned, he would be the one that was rolling me over, not me rolling him over, because I don't do that. Yep. So I had no problem with that yearly contract. And at the time, as you can imagine, I wanted to be his licensed manager. So I had a manager's license. So he's gone, yeah, okay. So we shook on it. And that was it. That's how I became his manager. Then I went and got £1 million for the fight. And I think I'm either the first, I'm not sure if the Frank Bruno Lennox Lewis fight was before or after mine with Eubank, but I think I'm the first manager in this country since the war to get £1 million for a fight. Yeah. So from somebody that's come off the street.
Amazing.
And he only wanted 700 grand and I got him 300 grand more. Yeah. That's not nicking, is it? You know.
How much did you get of that, Mil?
I got 10%, yeah.
Days. Because you could have said I want 20%. You could have said 25%.
Oh, yeah. Well, 20% is a standard.
Is a standard management fee, yeah.
25% is a standard anyway. But when you're earning that kind of money, you've got to look sensibly. I'm not the one in the ring getting the punches. Yeah. So he ain't going to pay me £250,000 to stand on the corner, is he? Even though I've done the work, you know.
But if your roles reversed though, you think, hold on a minute. Like for you, you're going, I've just come in with a ton.
Yeah.
You get 100 G's for cutting a great deal. You're happy, he's happy, everyone's winning.
Look, I got more than that because I already done a deal with Don King. So Don King wanted a 7-fight deal.
Did he?
Oh yeah. What happened was Don King wanted a 7-fight deal. So he
With Nigel and you?
Yeah. So what he done was, before the fight. He wanted
Is this Eubank? Is this Chris Eubank, Nigel Benn 1 or 2?
2.
So this is after the second one.
Yeah.
Which was a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what happened was, we kept our belt.
Yeah.
So we were still the world champion. Okay. So then Don King rang me, flew me back over. He flew me over. He gave me $5,000. Picked me up at the airport in a limo. One of his drivers picked me up in a limo. Took me to the Hilton in Miami Beach. And then he gave me $5,000 and he said, have a nice weekend. I'll see you Monday in my office. So I said, okay. So he set me up for the weekend, you know. And then I went to his office on the Monday and there he started all the, we're brother, you know, boys, you know, mates and all his friends and I love you and all that. You're a great manager. And I've heard all of that.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. You know, bullshit baffles brains, you know. So anyway, in the end, he's got these 7 contracts, laid them out in front of me. You know what I mean? And on them, it's got Nigel Benn versus opponent to be named.
TBC,
Yeah, to be confirmed.
Yeah.
And I looked at him, I said, well, Don, I know, not being funny, I said, I'll do 7-fight deal with you, but not on your contracts. Yeah. I said, on British Boxing Board of control paper. So, as it happens, I had my briefcase with me and I had that sort of wad of, can people see?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I had that sort of wad of license contracts with me because as a manager you're always carrying contracts. Yeah. So I had some. I said, look, I'll put them on here, but I'm not putting them on now. So he said, okay. So that day he retyped them up on them, and then because I knew what Nigel wanted, basically, you know, even though he didn't know what I was agreeing, but nothing was confirmed till Nigel's signature was on the contract.
Yeah, okay.
I must say that.
What was Nigel's thought process with you going out to see Don King in America?
He trusted me implicitly.
No, I'm sure he trusted you, but he's clued up enough to know that Don King's not to be trusted. Or was he like, just go and do the deal, see how much we can get, and then come back and then we'll crack it after that? Okay.
Yeah. Basically, that's what I was getting to. Yeah, he was just basically saying, go out there, see what we can
sniff it out, come back.
If you're happy with it, put it on paper.
Yeah.
And then all I've got to do is sign it because it's not like going from Ilford to Stratford. I've got to get on a plane from Miami to Los Angeles, you know, because Nigel was in Los Angeles. So I've done this 7-fight deal, but on the bottom of every contract I wrote, this fight does not include Roy Jones Jr., James Toney or Michael Nunn. Now, his intentions, Don King, was Nigel to fight Michael Nunn next. Yeah. So when he saw the Michael Nunn, he couldn't handle that. He's going, oh, no, I want Nigel to fight Michael Nunn next. I said, no, not for... I've done a 7-fight deal for $700,000 a fight. So
was that the deal we cut?
Yeah,
4.9.
Yeah, 4.9 million, and then I took $100,000 for myself out of it. So Don King gave me $100,000 separate.
Did he?
Yeah, for me. So that made $5 million.
Okay.
Yeah, the deal was don't get me wrong, I agreed this with Nigel before, so I'm saying this because I'm not stealing money.
Yeah. You know,
I'm open with it.
Yeah.
So I done a deal which Nigel I knew would be happy with, 7 fights because we had already discussed 7 sevens of 49. Yeah. And whatever I could get,
and you'll get a ton on top,
yeah. Plus what my 10%,
and your 10% management fee on top of that as well.
Yeah, of every
Brilliant.
fight. Yeah, so every fight's so $700,000 for me.
Mate, you must have been buzzing. Pete.
Yeah. So I done all these contracts, and then I flew her. And he went to me at the end. He went, "You're a cute motherfucker." Yeah, went to me, you know, you're not as stupid as you look, basically. And I'm not. I'm far from it.
Yeah.
You know, even though I've grown up fighting all my life and all that on the streets, and I'm still very clued up and very smart. You know, so. Yeah, that's how I started with Nigel.
Tell me why those 3 fighters you didn't want on that paperwork.
Well, one for the finance.
Yeah, for the finance, but you're saying, hold on, if I can get 4.9 here for no names that these 3, why were you choosing those 3 to do separately?
Because one, to fight Roy Jones Jr. at the time, I wanted between 5 and 6 million.
Okay.
For Roy Jones Jr. I would have fought him for that sort of money. Michael Nunn, I didn't fancy fighting him because he's a big 6'1" southpaw. And at the time, you know, we didn't need him at the time. No one wanted to see Michael Nunn. believe it or not, as though he was a very talented fighter, and he was talented. You know, I mean, he would have probably nicked it on points. If Nigel didn't catch him, he would have probably nicked it on points, to be fair.
Yeah.
So why do I want to give up my belt for 700 grand?
Yeah, okay.
You know, I'm not
Okay.
giving that belt for 700 grand.
It's nice to hear why. Yeah,
Yeah, of
okay.
course, yeah.
And the third one?
The third one was James Toney.
Yeah.
It's because we didn't need James Toney either. You know, these were fights that you don't really need, because not many people had heard of James Toney over in Britain. In America, yeah. But unless you're a right fight fan, nobody knew him. They'd heard of Roy Jones Jr.,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
and Michael Nunn they might have heard of, you know, because they were actually champions at the time, whereas James Toney wasn't.
Yeah. How would you explain your dealings with Don King? How would you explain Don King?
Well, with Don King, what I did, which I don't think any other manager done, was I was speaking to a friend of mine who's a barrister, and we was discussing things, and he said, Pete, this is going back 30 years ago now, so things have changed a lot since then. But what he said to me, he says, look, what you need to do, Pete, is set up in your bank what they call an irrevocable letter of credit.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, what's that? So he explained it all to me, and I went, that makes sense. It cost a couple of grand to set up. So I said, I'm going to do that. So I went to Don King and I went, right, in these contracts, I knew this before I went out, but I thought when I get out there, I'm going to put all this in the contracts. So what I'd done was I put an irrevocable letter of credit in for 30 days. So what happened was the money, 700 grand, had to go into this suspense account 30 days prior to the contest.
Like an escrow account, so okay.
So what happened was, once the bell rang, that money was automatically released into Nigel's account. Whatever excess was there, that goes back to Don King.
Okay.
But the 700 grand gets transferred into Nigel's. And I explained all this to Nigel, and he went to me, spot on, lovely, you know what I mean? Because his money's safe.
Yeah.
So I said, as soon as that first bell goes, Nigel, the money's released.
How do you know that money's been released? Because back then, there wouldn't have been apps on your phone, there wouldn't have been anything. You're ringside. Is this going on trust, going, I that money, or is someone billing you up, the bank account, it's in?
Yeah, it's in.
Okay.
Yeah. The bank would, he'll fight on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Nothing can be done till Monday morning. Yeah. So 9 o'clock Monday morning, and that bank opens, that money's in his account.
What would have happened if that money weren't in his account?
Well, the bank's liable for it, isn't they?
So it's over to the bank, okay.
Yeah, the bank would be liable for it. That's why it's set up, yeah.
So that was one of the 7 fights, was it?
No, that was every fight I'd done that.
So, but I'm saying you did that for every fight with Don.
Yeah.
So you did a 7-fight deal, and Nigel and yourself fought all of those 7 fights?
We done, I think 5 we done.
5, okay.
Something like that. 5,
and was there
6.
any period in that 5 you're going, I'm not sure I like this Don King fella. There's something about him that's not quite right.
Yeah. Well, financially, no problems. That was all sorted. They couldn't do nothing, because I was dealing with Frank Warren in England, and he was relaying everything over to Don King.
And it was Frank and Don closer, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going back to Frank, and Frank was passing it back to Don.
What people need to understand is, when I done a deal with Frank, with Don, really it was a deal with Frank, because it was dealt with in England. Yeah, so, you know, if we fought in England, it was under Frank Warren promotion.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Don King promotion, so it was the both of them. So I got on well with Frank. I got on really well with Frank.
I like Frank.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he's okay. You can have a deal with Frank. He's all right. He loves a deal.
Yeah.
You know?
Is he straight?
Yeah.
100%?
Yeah. What, 99% straight, you know. He's never let me down.
That's all you can do is on your...
I can't
stand as a pain with you.
It's like Don King. People go, he's this, he's knocked this fight, knocked that fight. Well, he's never knocked me.
Yeah.
The only thing was, he never got that out of his head that we got to fight Michael Nunn. So what happened was, I got a phone call one day from Frank Warren. He's gone, Pete, Don wants you to fight Michael Nunn next. I said, no, me and you have just come back from Germany. Me and Frank Warren flew over to Berlin, and we watched Roger Gianni, his name was Roger Gianni, versus Frederick Sellier from France. Frederick Sellier was a European champion, and he was our #1 challenger. Yeah. So me and Frank Warren flew over to there. That was the night Chris Eubank fought Henry Walton. So we flown over to Berlin, and we was in Berlin. We watched the fight. It was a draw. So Frederick Sellier still stayed our challenger. So we've gone back to England. So now we're going to get ready for training camp to go and to train for Frederick Sellier. I get a phone call from Frank. He's gone, Don King's been on the phone. He said, if we don't fight Michael Nunn next, he's going to go to the WBC convention next week, and he's going to get Gerald McClellan to give up his middleweight title,
Yeah.
move up to super middleweight, and he's going to make him your number one contender.
Right.
They're going to kick Frederick Seller out and
Okay.
make him the number one contender.
Okay. Why? Why did Don want that?
Because he wanted his ambition was to beat Nigel Benn,
Yeah.
take the title back to America, and get Michael Nunn to fight James Toney for Michael Nunn, Roy Jones
Yes.
Jr. for the belt.
Okay.
That was what.
Okay.
That was his ambition.
Okay.
So that's what he had all set up and planned. It was like a plan he had from day dot.
Yeah.
So he had all this plan.
Is that
in his
because you
head.
triggered him early doors saying, I don't want that fight? Would he ever be in his bonnet about it? Or was that...
It wasn't because I said I don't want it.
Yeah.
It was what he's planned. You know, when you do big businesses, like you do deals or business things, you've got to think forward.
5 steps ahead.
Yeah,
Of course,
exactly.
yeah.
You've got to
of
think
course.
forward 5
Yeah.
steps ahead.
Yeah.
Like it's to me, I'm fighting this fight, but really I'm looking at that fight down the road. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how Don King was. Very smart, very sharp. So he's bullying us now. He's trying to bully us, threatening us because we're under contract to him that we got to do this. So I've got this message that we've got to fight Michael Nunn next, or he's going to do this to us, bring Gerald McClellan over, knock us out and take the title back. Now, Gerald McClellan was knocking everybody out, as you know.
Yeah.
So I've gone to Nigel. I'll never forget. I went to Nigel and I told him what happened. And he went, Pete, go back on that phone and tell him. I said to fucking bring him. That was his exact word.
Quality.
He went, fucking bring him. I ain't frightened of nobody.
Quality.
He said, no one's bullying me.
Yeah.
He said, I'll fight him. I don't care, Pete. He goes, I'll fight him. Go and get him. So I went back and gave the message and you know the outcome.
Yeah.
You know? So that's when we basically fell out with Don King.
Okay.
We fell out of love with Frank as well because Frank should have had our corner.
Why didn't Frank have your corner then?
Well, he should have done because I sacked Barry Earn after the Eubank fight. I sacked him because what happened was on the night he didn't pay for the belt to be sanctioned, the WBO. So if we had won against Chris Eubank, we wouldn't have got the belt. But a reporter friend, come and warn me. He said, Pete, they ain't paid for the belt to be sanctioned. So I went.
So they've got to pay for the belt to be sanctioned?
Yeah, before you fight, you got to pay a sanction fee.
Why was that not paid?
1%.
Why was that not paid?
Because what it meant was if Nigel would beat Chris Eubank,
Yeah.
right, that belt would have then been vacant.
Yeah.
Nigel wouldn't have got the belt. He would have won the fight.
But who didn't sanction the belt?
Barry Earn, the promoter.
Yeah, no, I know that as well. But why? He wouldn't have done that on purpose.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Is that right?
So that if he lost, he could then become number 1 or 2 against the number 1 challenger, the number 2 or 3 against the number 1 challenger. Then he gets an easy fight again to get his title back.
Right.
Whereas he ain't got to start paying millions and millions out to fight Nigel Benn again.
Right.
See you for a third fight.
Okay.
Because we would have insisted on millions
I
more.
can't see Baz doing it out of.
Well, I can't sit here and say he did it deliberately because I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But he looks that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did that?
Knowing boxing as I do.
Yeah,
sorry.
of course. Yeah, I get it. No, I get it.
Knowing the contracts and everything, it looks that way.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And how much was it to get that sanction, the belt?
1%.
1% of what?
Of $1 million.
Of the mill. Okay.
Yeah. So
of your mill.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 grand. Yeah.
Okay.
So
did you not know it wasn't sanctioned? You personally not know it was
I
sanctioned?
didn't know at the time. That was a mistake on my behalf.
Okay.
I should have known.
Okay.
So that was a fuck up from me, really.
Yeah.
So luckily.
So you didn't trigger it. Baz didn't trigger it.
No.
And it sort of floated and the fight happened.
No, what happened was a certain reporter, I'm not going to mention him because he's still active, so it's not fair.
Yeah.
Because he could, Matchroom could say, fuck off, you know what I mean? So, but this reporter came to me and he said, Pete, they ain't sanctioned this fight. I said, do what? So I went in and got John Morris, who was the head of the board. And he went, oh no, Pete, the fight ain't been sanctioned. I said, listen, this fight ain't going ahead now.
Yeah.
I said, if I go back and tell Nigel Benn this fight ain't sanctioned, and he starts roaring, I'll tell you what's going to happen. He won't fight no matter what.
Yeah.
Because he'll get the ump. Yeah. And then he won't be physically, mentally fit to go in that ring.
Yeah.
He'll pull out. So I didn't tell him. So what I said was, if it ain't sanctioned by the end of the day, I said, here's the 10 grand.
Yeah.
I said, if it ain't sanctioned by I'll put the 10 grand in the bank, in the British Boxing Board of Control.
Yeah.
They gave me a letter to say that the fight's sanctioned.
Okay.
So we did get it sanctioned in the end, but it took right to the last minute.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. The things they do in boxing.
How mad's that?
Yeah, this is what I'm
Because
saying.
the thing is, when now looking back at it, and you go, well, if he did actually beat Eubank, he wouldn't have actually got the belt. And there'd been massive controversy everywhere.
Nor on his record would it have said like 2 times world champion or 3 times, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is where you got to be on the ball all the time.
Yeah.
All the time you got to be on the ball when you're dealing with these people because they're crooks, all of them.
Yeah. Do you find that in boxing, the majority of crooks, or do you look around and go, do you know what, he's sound as a pound, he's good for a pound note, he's sound as a pound, I don't trust him. But did you put him in categories like...
Well, you got to look at it like this. In boxing, at the level I was at, you're either down there or up there.
Yeah.
There's no middle, right? You know, you're either earning nothing or you're earning a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, the money in between ain't livable.
Mm.
So you're either going to try and rob yourself up to the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is what I say. If you're working with these people that have been in the game, like Don King, 50 years, and Frank Warren's been in the game 50, 40 years or whatever.
They know every trick.
Yeah, you got to be sharp.
Yeah.
And if you're not sharp, you get had over.
Yeah.
I made a couple of mistakes along the way. I'm not ashamed to say it.
Well, you're learning on the go, though. Do you know what I mean? You're learning.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
if I had messed up, it would have cost Nigel $1 million, or £1 million, or £500,000, over £750,000 quid. By the time you got sponsorships and all that up and there, you're talking about £1.5 million quid, £1.25 million.
Yeah.
You know, with sponsorships and everything. So it's a very serious business. You've got to take it serious.
Yeah.
You can't be an idiot in it. They'll have you over like. But luckily, I made a couple of mistakes along the way that I never made twice.
What were they?
One was in the contract. I made a mess up in the contract. Whereas if he had lost, I'd have been in trouble. I'd have been linked to somebody for something I didn't want to be linked to. That was one mistake, which I never made.
Say that again. If it was in the contract, if Nigel had lost against Chris Eubank,
no, somebody else,
someone else,
afterwards,
something else would have come out about you.
No, not about me.
No.
No, what happened was it would have been I would have been locked on to this person involved in the contract. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Who signed the other contract?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been a good deal.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So
for you personally, or for you and Nigel?
For me personally and Nigel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what was in that? What was that
I
contract?
can't remember. That was so long
Roughly.
ago. I don't want to sit here telling porkies.
Yeah.
I'd done something in it, and I know that if I'd lost, I'd have been bloody linked to this. I'd have been linked. I would have probably made him give him an option to fight somebody that I probably didn't want to fight.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that.
What made you sign that contract, or did you not know? It's only afterwards. Did you go, oh, the contract's been done, and you've gone read through it and gone, oh shit, I've made a mistake here?
No,
was it like
a
that?
bit
Or?
of trust, probably.
Right, okay.
Too much trust there. Whereas you've got to read every contract through and through, sharp.
Yeah.
You learn that.
Yeah.
Don't think you got 7 that they're all the same. You know,
there'll be little tweaks of you. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they tweak
things
them.
they think you won't notice.
You just get 7 along there. You think, oh, I'll just
That'll
sign
do.
them. I've read that one. They're all the same.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I did mess up on one contract. I've got, and I've never even told Nigel that to this day. No.
It's one for you, Nigel.
Yeah, but it's one for you, Nigel. Sorry. Yeah, and then that was one mistake. And the other mistake was not doing the belt checking. It was sanctioned.
Yeah, okay.
I should have checked that was sanctioned.
Yeah,
that
but
was,
I
that was my
can't.
fault.
But if you were so busy and you probably,
yeah.
you didn't, probably the last thing you think, oh, normally you'd think it'd be sorted out. I'd imagine.
Well, the problem we had was we was based in Tenerife.
Okay.
So we never come home till like 2 or 3 days before the fight.
Right, okay.
So by the time I got home, I ain't got time to worry about nothing. I mean, I had 2 kids and I couldn't even worry about them.
Yeah.
I've got to worry about the fight. You're talking about, there was 48,000 people at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
So,
Tell me about that Ben Eubank second fight in the lead up to it. Like, they hated each other. Tell me about that feeling, that vibe when you were around.
yeah,
it
was a genuine hate from Nigel. I don't think it was a genuine hate from Chris Eubank. I don't think he's a hateful person.
Okay.
But what it is, he's so cantankerous, such a horrible bastard. You know what I mean? He said to me once, "What are you doing on the telly?" I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "If it ain't for me, you ain't fighting him." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can tell him, no,
Yeah.
don't fight him. Or I can make you wait because I'm contracted. So, you know, I could make you wait another year before Nigel could get rid of me if he wanted. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
It'd be
okay.
really awkward.
Yeah.
So
you knew you were actually in control
yeah,
at that point.
Well, I was in control, as in, for me, I was trusted.
But was it fight to fight? I know you did the 7 with Don and Frank, but this one, was it fight to fight of you earning your pound note? So
I've done things outside the ring as well with him.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. I know, we've done a lot of things together.
Commercially.
Yeah. We've done a lot of things together, and we went on TV a lot together. He trusted me, he liked me around him. For some, you know, we really gelled.
Yeah.
You know, right up.
Well, I can see why he'd want you around you.
Yeah.
One, he looked after you, and 2, you got his back.
Yeah, I always have his back.
Like
always.
every movement, you got
even
his
today.
back. Yeah.
Look, I've had a disagreement with Nigel, right, over something, right? He wanted me to go to court for him, and I said, I won't go to court for nobody.
Yeah.
I don't care who they are, right? Because I don't do that. And we fell out over it, and he never spoke to me for 10, 12 years, right, over it. But I still wouldn't sit here and slate him.
Yeah.
Because that man was good to me.
Yeah.
You understand? And I'll never, ever slate him. Never. Because that man put me on the mark, you know what I mean, through his name.
What did he want you to go to court for?
Well, what happened was he had a disagreement with a girl.
Yeah.
And she had his kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other boxer, you know, his youngest son, who boxes. Not Conor, the other one, I forget his name now. Well, I'm his godfather.
Are you Conor's godfather?
No, the other one.
Oh, the other one?
Yeah, I forget his bloody name now. I was just so much trying to remember something.
Yeah.
So anyway, Lisa was the girl's name, and she took him to court, and she wanted him to buy an house for her and a kid to live in. And then what happened was he rang me one day. I'm indoors, the phone's gone, and he's gone, Pete, it's Nigel. I've gone, oh, all right, mate, what's happening? He's gone, I need you to come to court for me. I said, well, as soon as I heard the word court, it buzzed in my head, you know, because, you know, I'm old school. I've been in courts myself. So I've gone, yeah, what are you talking about? Want me to come to court for you? He's gone, well, Lisa's taking me to court for money, $100,000. She wanted to buy an house. This is back in the
day, yeah.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
So I've gone, Nigel, look, I can't go to court for you, mate. I can't go to court for nobody. So his exact words were, if you don't go to court for me, then I ain't going to be your mate. I went, well, Nigel, I'm ever so sorry, but if that's how you feel, mate. I said, I can't go to court for you. He wanted me to go to court and say she was a 1-night, 2-night stand.
Okay.
And I said, you've been with her 7 years, Nigel. Do you think the press ain't got photographs and everything? They mugged me right off.
Yeah.
In a high court up the Strand. I'll get done for perjury or whatever. I'm not worried about that, but it's just my reputation. I can't diminish it by going to court for anybody. I mean, I lost an eye and I wouldn't go to court on a geezer. You know, I sorted it out myself.
Yeah.
I'm my own judge and jury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he fell out with me over it and he wouldn't talk to me. And even now, what he does is he goes on a podcast. Before the podcast starts or before he goes on TV now, what he says is, don't mention my manager, Peter. I don't want him mentioned. And that's what he thinks he's getting back at me. But it don't bother me in the slightest because I'm still Peter wherever I go. Yeah. I'm Peter DeFreitas wherever I go. Yeah. People know me. I ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. They all know me. They know I'm a good person. I can do this. I can do that. I don't have to depend on Nigel Benn to give me reputation. Yeah. I'm glad that no one wants to remember, but I've still got thousands and thousands of followers on my Instagram and my Facebook page. I've got thousands of followers, you know, and people always ask me about fights before the fights. So if he thinks he's hurting me, he's not hurting me by not mentioning me. Yeah. People know what I've done. I took him to the fights. I got him them fights. If it wasn't for me, he would never have been a world champion again with Mauro Galvano because Barry Hearn wanted to cancel the fight.
Yeah. Okay.
He didn't want the fight.
What year was this then?
That was 92, wasn't it?
No, 92 for the fight. What year was this when
he rang me up.
You got called?
Oh, this was early 2000s. After he retired.
So after he'd retired?
Yeah, this is after
But you were still
retired.
mates then?
Yeah, we're still mates every day. I used to see him almost. Most days.
Okay.
He lived in Beckenham. He only moved to Beckenham because I live around the corner in Hayes.
Yeah.
I had a house in Hayes that I bought. So he only moved to Beckenham because he used to come over to see me all the time. Oh, God, you'll travel all the way over here again through the Blackwall Tunnel, you know, back to the East End.
Yeah.
And I go, this is why I got away from the East End because I wanted to get away because it was changing so much, as you know.
Yeah.
So I moved away and then he's come and bought an house in Beckenham. But he only bought the house in Beckenham because of me. Because I live around the corner. Mm. I was about 1.5 miles away. And then I moved from Beckenham. So...
why did you move from Beckenham?
It's a long story and it's deep because it's to do with my family, my wife and that. You know, I split up with the wife. Yeah. Then I went and lived over there and then I went back home, you know, and then I stayed over Beckenham for a couple of years, I think, and that was it. Yeah. And then I went back home to the family, you know, to the wife and kids because what I was doing was wrong. When you're in this life of fame, believe you me, it ain't a great life. Yeah, you get loads of women. You got money. You got cars. I had a Bentley, a Ferrari, a Porsche. I've had everything.
Yeah.
I've had it all, yeah. I've had it all. The big house, you know, detached house, you know, 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom detached house. I've had all that. And now I live in a 1-bedroom flat. But I'm so happier now than I've ever been in my life.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah, I live in a nice, quiet area, you know, in Essex. I live out there, quiet. I don't get hardly any phone calls. I don't get hardly any problems. And I love it. because I'm left alone.
Yeah,
I ain't had a camera shoved in my face every day. You know,
yeah.
I feel sorry for these celebrities that get cameras shoved in their face every day.
Absolutely.
Because I've had it.
Yeah.
It ain't nice. I was telling you guy there that I've had them camping outside my house with Nigel splitting with his wife, and it went on. They found out about it. Sorry, they was on me like outside my house camping. Just to get, tell me what's going on. What's
some
going
info,
on?
yeah.
Yeah, she's out here pregnant and he's splitting up with her.
Yeah.
You know. So I had all that.
Did it bring you joy? Or was it like a joy for a couple of days? I'm talking about the motors. Getting the motors and the cash and all that. Was it like a I've made it in life thing? Or was it deep down, were you happy?
If I'm honest, I was on a 10-year high.
Okay.
You know, it was like, because I don't drink.
Yeah.
And I don't smoke and I don't take drugs. I never took a drug in my life.
Good for you. Not many people you can say that to these days, yeah.
No. As I say, I'm smart. I like to think I'm smart anyway. Sort of, I'm not knocking anybody else, but I study a lot. I'm educated, you know, and I've got a good brain on me. Even though I was a street fighter all my life and doorman, I like to think I'm smart as well, because I wouldn't have done what I'd done and achieved what I achieved if I wasn't smart.
Yeah.
So, so I live very quiet now. But that's
was it nice at the time though, getting all the motors, getting the women, having the cash? Were you like, I'm on a massive hike? You and Nigel going everywhere together as best mates.
When I sit down now and look back, I'm ashamed of myself to a degree because of what I've done to my wife, you know, because she was a good woman.
Yeah.
And she didn't deserve what I did. And
what did you do?
Women.
Well, okay.
Just hundreds, you know, like every 3 a week.
Yeah.
You know, it's just unbelievable. It's like, I suppose it was a drug to me.
Yeah. Or an addiction.
Yeah, it was an addiction because he was the same, Nigel.
Yeah.
Me and him would go to Tenerife a week and a half, 2 weeks before the fight, before we was ready to train, and we'd go out and have a holiday, 10-day holiday, and then we'd get ready for training on the Monday, and once we switched on to training, we trained.
Yeah.
We didn't break out the routine, regimental, you know, because he's ex-army, so he's
got good discipline.
He's got good discipline.
Yeah.
So, and he won't break it for nobody. He won't even do a photo shoot. You know, he's very strict. So we go out there. We go out there 10 days or 2 weeks before Pete. We have 10-day, get ready for it, and that's it. That's what we did. But women all the time. Yeah, terrible, man, terrible. And it wasn't. When I look back now, obviously I've lost my family over it.
Yeah,
it's cost me my family the job, but I can't change anything. I've just got to go forward.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of what I've done. I'm ashamed, if anything, what I've done to my wife. She didn't deserve none of it. She was a bloody good wife, you know? And it's like...
Is that a regret you got right now?
Oh, it's a very big regret. Yeah. I mean, I can't change it. I just wish her well and hope she's fine, you know?
Yeah.
She's a good woman, very good woman. And I was very lucky to get her in the beginning.
Knowing what you know now, and that 10-year period you had with Nige, would you keep that 10-year period or keep your wife?
Oh no, I'd definitely keep the wife. I wish I could go back. I would never do it. I would never have done it if I knew what I knew now.
Yeah, okay.
Never. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
No, it's cost me a hell of a lot. It's cost me absolutely.
Spiritually?
No, it's cost
money.
Me not
health.
Look, I don't drink, I don't smoke, as I said, and I don't take drugs, so I don't need much money. I'm okay financially. I'm not rich and I'm not poor. I buy nice clothes. I've got a car. I've got a nice flat.
Yeah.
I've got everything I want. I've got, but I haven't got what I had before.
Okay.
Whereas you could have £1,000 here, $2,000 here. That's all gone. But that's good because it's brought me back down to earth. Okay. I'm off that platform of the high.
Did you find that your ego got bigger knowing that you were in control and you and Nigel were the main faces around the UK at the right time and there was a huge buzz everywhere? There wasn't social media back then, but it was on the back of every paper and news, TV, 15 million people watching on ITV. Like, you must have got a massive buzz from being that.
Oh, yeah.
Being his right-hand man, essentially, right?
I was, yeah. We went everywhere together. We'd done everything together, even away from boxing.
Yeah.
But the only thing was, I wouldn't go to his parties.
Okay.
Because I don't like the music, and I don't like all the pill taking and all that. That's not my society I live around.
Yeah.
So in all the years I was with him, I never went to one party.
Yeah, okay.
My friends come, like my accountant and my friend Tony Sims I trained.
Yeah.
I trained Tony Sims up to get his license.
Did you?
Yeah, I got him his license. Terry Stewart, who was with...
Unbelievable trainer.
I trained him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I trained them all. Yeah, that's who got their licenses, me.
Okay.
Yeah, so... I trained all them, And that's how they used to come around my house every night, and I used to help him, and I trained him up to get his licenses. His trainers, then his managers.
I want to go back to the Eubank fight.
Yeah.
I want to know what the build-up was like.
Oh, yeah.
The ag between them, the what was going on in the contracts, what was it like at the press conferences, what was it like having to deal with them both in the same room because they said, right, part of the contract is you're going on telly, you're sat next to him, because one of them, he's got his back turned. And I want to know that whole vibe and feeling.
It's an incredible feeling when you're fighting someone like Eubank, to be fair, because it was so massive. We was in a hotel in London, just off the embankment, behind the embankment, and we was in a hotel there, big, what's the name of the bloody hotel? I forget the name of it now. We was in this hotel, and all the press outside, there's about 200-300 people, and then the room's full, the press room's full. I've got them all on tape. All the press conferences, I've kept them all on tape. Yeah, and with Don King and everything. And, and, you know, they're just unbelievable. The rivalry was that, to have security there to keep them apart. I'll never forget, we come out of on the rematch, we come out and Eubank had his bike. What he done is he got his bike brought down by a lorry, parked it outside the hotel, take the bike off the lorry, right? Yeah. And then he'd park his bike out there all flamed up and he'd sit on it. And then we went in, done the press conference, and Nigel didn't say nothing to nobody. He slipped out. And when we walked outside, Nigel sitting on his bike, and Eubank stood there and went, like,
quality.
And he's laughing, and Nigel sitting on his bike doing it, all that. There's pictures around it.
Really?
You get it, yeah.
Oh,
Nigel
mate.
sitting outside the press conference on his bike.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, and another one we done, when we done a couple of weeks later, he done the same thing at Old Trafford. We're at Old Trafford, we're sitting there, and in the stands, and Eubank's walked straight out there. He's got his bike on the pitch. And they are boarded the pitch, and he's sitting there on his bike because he went out first, and he's sitting there on his bike, and he's got he's sitting there. And then I said to Nigel, go out there and just flash the belt in his face. Just walk around and just do that with the belt, and go to the crowd like this, you know. I've got the belt. Yeah. He's got a fucking motorbike, you know. And that's it. And we did it, and the crowd roared loud. They loved it. Yeah. Oh, that was unbelievable fight, though.
Yeah.
He was really.
It was unreal fight.
Oh, I'll tell you what, he trained like a sod.
Did he?
Oh, yeah. He was up for that. He said, no man beats me twice. Yeah. That's what his exact words were to me. He said, Pete, no one beats me twice. And I'll never forget the day of the fight, we was in a hotel in Manchester, because my son was only 11, I think, at the time. He's 43 now. He was 11 at the time. And I let my son walk the belt out at Old Trafford, 48,000. My boy's only 11. He walked into the ring with a Man U kit on and a little cap, and he had the belt. You know, as his little.
You made him wear a Man U kit?
No, they did.
Oh, they did they?
Yeah, they said he's got to wear a Man U kit.
Hold on a minute. Get a West Ham kit on him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a West Ham boy. Yeah. So he's only 11. He's a West Ham supporter. So. We got ready for that fight. He was up for that, and we went out for a walk that day. He said to me, Pete, I don't want Jimmy, I don't want your son or anybody around me today. This is the day of the fight. Okay. He said, I don't want nobody around me, Pete, just you. And we had walkie-talkies back in the day. Yeah. He had one and I had one. So you go, Pete, come to my room, you know, whatever. Yeah. So we had walkie-talkies. So he's called me up. I've gone up and he's gone, Pete, I don't want no one around me today, just you. I don't even want Jimmy around me. So I said, okay. He said, look, after lunch, he said, we're going to go for a walk. So I said, okay. So I went for a walk after lunch, and I said to him, he was just walking in there. I said, look, Nige, be careful in there. And I said, don't take any silly chances. I said, look, I'm not going to tell you too much. You know what you got to do. I said, it's a fight day. I said, just make him work for 3 minutes every round. He hates it. Because with Chris Eubank, he fights for 1.5 minutes and rests for 1.5 minutes, if he can get away with it. Yeah. And that's how he wins. Yeah. And he's a good counter puncher, you see. So I said to Nigel, just keep making him work for 3 minutes every round. And that's what we did. And we got robbed. We got a draw, but we won the fight. Yeah. You know, we was robbed. And Nigel was so angry. And I'll never forget the TV came over to me, ITV, what was his name, with the glasses, the head of ITV. He said, Pete, we got to do an interview. Get him quick, he's leaving the ring. I said, you tell him to come back. I said, he'll tell you straight, fuck off. Yeah. Well, he don't play around, Nigel. Yeah. He's a very straight guy. He won't hide nothing back. And
that was a brutal fight. wasn't it?
Yeah. The second one.
Yeah, second one, brutal. What was Nigel like post-fight with the draw? Was he angry?
Angry as hell. Angry. He sort of basically said, I trained all this time for this and really come away with nothing.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, okay, you got £1 million in the bank, admittedly, but it ain't the same as having what you've actually tried. You got into boxing for belts.
Yes.
Originally, you ain't got in it for money because money don't enter it when you start boxing. You know, you boxing for that. So he was very, very angry about it. And I said, look, Nigel, you know why they've got a draw, don't you? I said, they want number 3. Yeah. It's money. He said, I'm not doing it, Pete. I won't fight him now.
Did he say that?
He said, I'm done. I'm not making them rich over me.
Okay.
He said, I'm not making them rich over me. That's when I sacked Barry Hearn that night. I said to him, you finished with us.
Why?
Because of the belt.
Okay.
I didn't agree with what he'd done. So what happened was, he come to the dressing room. It was before that, in the evening, he came to the dressing room. He said, I'm just going to walk Chris out, Pete, and then I'll come back and walk Nigel out. I said, no. Don't bother. Because I knew what had gone on. So I said, no. I said, Frank's walking us out. So he went red. So I went, well, sorry, mate. I said, I don't want to work with you no more. So we went out there, we done the fight, got the draw, come out. And then the next day, it was a Sunday, and on the Monday morning, that's it. I said to Nigel, we got an appointment, mate. I said, come on. So I took him up to London. And that's when we had to deal with Frank Warren to work with Frank and Don King.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and I switched and said, yeah, we're coming with you now, and we're leaving him.
Okay.
I said, but don't try and fuck me over like he just did. I said, I won't have it, Frank. I said, you can do your own work on me.
Yeah.
He goes, I know, Pete, I know you are. So I said, sweet. I said, look, I'm a law honest person.
Yeah.
And I'm
respect,
easy going, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But if you cross me, I'm a bad motherfucker. You know what I mean? I can be a bad motherfucker. I said, I'm not trying to blow me out. You know, I don't want to get to that stage. I said, but let's be honest with each other and we'll do some good deals. He said, fine. And that's how we worked.
Okay. What was Nigel's attitude straight away? Obviously, he's angry and pissed off. When did it start to ease off to go, right, what's my next move? How long did he hold on to that anger for?
Only about a week.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a strong-minded man.
Yeah.
You know, he knows he's on the direction, he's on the course. We're still champion of the world.
Yeah.
We ain't lost that belt. It's not as if we've been robbed. We was robbed for that belt, but we still got our belt, thank God.
Yes.
So we still got ammunition, you understand, to go and work.
Yeah.
So that's when I done the deal with Don King after that, and we worked with Don King and Frank Warren.
And what was that move like for you? To go to Frank and go to Don straight after? And was there any problems with Baz afterwards? Barry Hearn afterwards?
No. Barry Hearn took it quite well.
He's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, fine, yeah, understand. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
There weren't no issues with Barry Hearn.
Yeah, okay.
We wasn't disrespectful to him. It's just that we don't want to work with you now.
Yeah.
I don't like what you did.
Yeah.
Or what was supposedly did.
Yeah.
You know. But when we went over to Frank, look, it's like anything. When you're top of the tree, every phone call gets answered, or every door's open.
Yeah.
The minute he stops, everything shuts.
Yeah.
The phone don't get answered. Engaged, or he's busy.
I'll call you back.
you know all that, like the Scarlet Pimpernel tree. You know, you can't find him. You know, and that's what happened to a degree. But to be fair, I had some other fighters afterwards. I took Nigel's cousin on, and I took some other fighters.
So again, you took on who?
Nigel's cousin, Paul Bowen.
Okay.
And I took his other cousin on. What was it? Oh bloody hell! Paul and Michael.
Yeah.
I took them both on. And
I'm managing them?
Yeah, and I started managing other fighters because I had an office and a secretary already.
Yeah.
I was working for me. Faye was working for me.
So you might as well leverage up and get more
fighters.
Okay.
But Nigel wouldn't let me. I wanted to do it a long time ago. But he said, no, you ain't working with nobody else while you're with me. He said, I want you just with me. So I couldn't go out there and get myself bigger whilst I was with him.
Yeah.
I had to wait till his career ended before I could go and do it. Yeah. So everything I'd done afterwards was all me. Whereas we could have probably been a couple of managers now, working together. Yeah. But he didn't see that. All he could see was, no, next fight. I don't want Peter working with other fighters. It means I can't get hold of him, or he can't come round when it suits him.
Do you understand why he might have thought that?
Yeah, I do now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I understand.
There's me looking in now, going, God, we're on a mission here. You're earning 10%. I'm getting a mil.
Yeah.
Let's
We're
stick
doing other
together
things as well. Yeah.
When as him as a fighter, he probably looked at him and went, hold on a minute. Am I going to lose his attention?
Yeah.
Is he going to be going, I'll call you back. I'll call you back in 3 hours rather than call you back in 3 minutes?
Or I can't do that. I'm on another
I'm
meeting.
on another meeting.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it from Nigel's point.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
But for you, were you thinking, hold on a minute, I'm on a high here. I've got to take this and create a proper
first,
business.
I thought he was holding me back. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I
Did
thought
that cause, when you're being held back in anything in life, someone feels like you're holding back, did that create a bit of tension between you two at that time?
No. Never had an argument.
Okay.
We very rarely had an argument. Very rarely. Once he flicked a towel in me and caught me in the face, and I went fucking apeshit in the gym. I said, "You ever do that to me again, I'll kill you." But he saw it in my face. Yeah, he backed down. He went, "I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
You know, and he was all right.
Well, just mucking around with a spin and then flick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got to tell you a funny story though. We was in the gym one day, and I said to him, "I put the gloves on." Now I'm not a boxer.
Yeah.
I'm a street fighter.
Yeah.
But I said to him, "But I've always followed boxing since a kid with my dad."
Yeah.
So I said to him, "Come on, me and you're going to spar today." And that's right. He was getting ready for the Italian kid, not Galvano, the other one who we fought, Nigel beat, and he's a southpaw. Now I fight southpaw, but we couldn't get any. We was having trouble getting sparring partners. So I said, "Come on, I'll move around with you sparring. I'm a southpaw." And he laughed. He went, fuck off, Pete. Anyway, I got in there and I started moving around with him and jabbing him. And he fell on the floor laughing. So I said, "What are you laughing at?" He goes, "I can't believe how good you are." "Yes, you got a really good jab." Bloody hell, we went, "I can't believe it." And I was moving around, but I didn't have the fitness to go rounds. I only done 1 or 2 rounds, and then I struggled doing that, you know. And then I was out jabbing him. Whether he was messing around or not, I don't know, but he probably was. But I was out jabbing him, and then he sort of went, "Okay, I'll have to put this kid in his place." And he just slipped and went bop and caught me around the side. I went, "Oh, fuck, you know." Put me in place. Yeah, he done the same to Tony Sims. He done the same to Tony. Yeah, he just slipped one and bump.
Yeah.
Put him in his. If he feels you're getting above where you should be, he put you back in your place. You know what I mean?
What was Nigel's lifestyle like out of the boxing ring?
Oh, hectic. He was like me, really. We was two very much alike. Maybe that's why we got on.
Yeah.
He loved women.
Yeah.
He loved cars. I like women. I like cars. We was like 2 peas in a pod. You know, we speak the same Cockney, strong Cockney accent. You know, we were both very, very similar. And I think that's one of the reasons why we got on. And if it wasn't for the court case, I'd have probably been still his best mate today. You know, I spoke to him, the last time I spoke to him was 2017. He phoned me from Australia.
Yeah. Out of the blue?
Yeah, no, he phoned me. Yeah. He phoned me out of the blue, yeah.
What did he say?
He just said, "How are you?" and all that. And then he said, "I'm coming over. I want to see you." So I said, "Okay." So we went out for the day. And then he had a conversation with me and he just said, "Look, Pete, I'm going to be totally honest with you." He said, "Look, I've got a big family now." He said, "Things ain't like they used to be." He said, "I like you. I love you." He said, "We was good together." He said, "We had a great time." He said, "But I've got a big family. I live over there. When I come here, my time is so taken up."
Yeah.
So he said, "I'll see you when I see you, but I can't guarantee when I see you."
Yeah.
I said, "No problem. I understand that too. He's got a family now." Whereas before, he only had a few little kiddies, you know, that he never really was there. He was in training camp. So I understand where he's coming from. That's why I will never say anything bad about him, ever. He was good to me. Yeah. Very good. Very, very good.
And you were good to him?
Yeah, I was good. I gave him 100%.
Yeah.
And I never stole. I never cheated. Nothing off of him, ever.
I'd love to get Nigel on the podcast and hear his story. And I'd love to hear what he's got to say about you.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to hear what he's got to say about me. As long as it's honest.
Yeah.
You know, I'm honest. I can't sit here and lie because I have to go out and face people who know me. Yeah. Whereas Nigel, he does tell porkies. I've listened to his podcast, a few of them, you know, and he said silly things in his book, I think, about me, a couple of silly things, and he thinks he's hurting me by saying stupid things. You know, I heard one, I'm not sure if he put in one of his books, "Oh, Peter only answered the phone for me." Well, if I only answered the phone to him, I was the highest fucking paid phone answerer in the country. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but the things, I mean, the promoters know what I did, and he knows what I did. I mean, why is my name on contracts, the Ben Eubank fight, if I wasn't doing them? I signed the contracts. Yeah. I've got the contracts. Yeah. You know? But
if he come in today and walked in here now, out of the blue, what would you say to him?
"Hi, how are you?" I've got nothing against the guy. He was bloody good to me. I still speak to his brother John.
Yeah. Is there anything to clear up? Would you like to clear anything up? Are you bugged by anyone? I know you say it's fine. He says what he says. Is there anything you'd like to clear up with him? Like to go, do you know what? I just want to clear this. I want to get this off my chest.
I don't know. I don't understand. For somebody that's supposed to come from where I come from and be like me from the streets, Harry, you don't understand my position. That I can't go to court for anybody. It's against where we come from. You know that. Yeah. You come from my manor type, my manor. You know, when you're from the East End, I mean, I'm 67 years old this year. I'm old school. Where I grew up, I was sitting in a cell on a murder charge. And I sat there and I went, I was decided to do life. Because there's no way I'm good. I know, you know, they ain't getting nothing out of me, mate.
Yeah.
You know, I won't do it. Even if I had to do the life, I'd have done the life. I'd have just switched my brain over to, you're in there now, get on with it.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I've done DC, Ballstall, YP, prison. I've done it all. I've done all the psychiatric units. I've done them all. Everything I've done. You know, as people will see when my book comes out, you know, I've got a good book coming out, hopefully the summer, next few months coming out.
Well, this is an exclusive, so I really appreciate this.
I don't do them because I'm not glory hunting.
Yeah.
This is an honest podcast for a friend who I trust.
Yeah.
I don't just do it for anybody, you know, and to give an honest of my journey, not to sit here and say how hard I am.
Yeah.
You know, people who know me know how hard I am.
Yeah.
They know I can have a fight. There's millions of people out there can beat me.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing was, when I was young, I was game.
Yeah.
I would fight anybody.
Are you? I know you're 67. Are you still game today?
Yeah, big time. I would look if somebody was to come and pick on me or assault me. Yeah. The only thing with me is, I'll say, I'm looking at people and I'm telling you, this is not for me to say how hard I am or anything like that. This is just me being honest about myself. If somebody beat me up or hurt me, I'd kill them. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Other than that, leave me alone. I won't go and pick on nobody. But if somebody beat me or hurt me, I will fucking kill them. I won't sleep till I've done it. Because I can go from 0 to 100 in 10 seconds. I don't need to think about it all night. I'm fucking you know, when I switch on, I'm a dangerous man, but I'm sort of getting myself wound up now.
Yeah.
I can get, you know, so easy when I talk about fighting and things like that or hurting people. I've done that all my life. That's how I earn my money. But I'm an old man now. I'm a pensioner. You know, I'm an old pensioner now. But in my head,
it's still 30.
I can't roll around the floor maybe as much, but I've still got, you know, my finger still works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I had to.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here glorifying myself, but I am
game
very dangerous if I want to be. People don't understand how dangerous I am. Unless you really know me, you don't know, because I'll tell you, I'm a bad motherfucker when I switch on.
The people I know who know you, know you're really dangerous.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I don't.
But you don't need to go and glorify it.
No, as I say, I don't jump on podcasts to say how hard I am. It's just my journey.
Yeah.
Like my book, it's an honest book. Everything in that book is absolutely honest, because I've got to look my friends who some are really,
who are there,
who are every people even today.
Yeah.
I've got friends that might be in their 60s, but they're naughty people. You wouldn't want them coming after you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And they've got to look at me and go, "Did you really do, Pete? What are you talking about?" You know what I mean? I can't do that. I've got to look at them and say, that's an honest assessment.
That's
of
what happened.
I did. This is generally what happened.
Yeah.
And it's just generally who I am.
So what did you get done? You said you were on a murder charge. What was that?
Well, I was a doorman in Moros. Bobby
Moore's
in Stratford. I was the doorman, and then I was the pub manager.
Okay.
Then I was the club manager.
Yeah.
And what happened was, I can't go too deep because this new law out. You understand? Double jeopardy. You can get retried.
Yeah.
So I can't go too deep in it. Look, all I can say is, this guy was coming in wanting money off everybody every week. He was a nasty piece of work. Him and his other mate, two of them, really naughty, you know. And they come in and they wanted money off of people. And I think a little firm just set about him. And he got stabbed up 13 times, I think. And he got cut twice in the leg, stabbed twice in the leg, and they cut the femur artery. But where the police went wrong is they wanted to nick me. They nicked me for murder. I was coming out of court for a driving offence, and the murder squad was there waiting for me, and they arrested me for murder, and they took me to West Ham police station, and I was in there for 3 days. They got extension on me, and they kept me in there for 3 days on murder. And the superintendent there kept asking me, we know it was you, and a certain other person who I won't mention his name, it's not fair. So me and this other person, they really wanted him, but he had it on his toes.
Yeah.
I stayed right where I was.
Okay.
So he didn't do himself many favours. Yeah.
Okay.
So he had it on his toes. So he ended up doing a lay down in the nick.
Yeah.
Now, one of my friends who worked at the door with me is a Moroccan. I think he's Moroccan, or Iranian, one of them two. But he's a Muslim. Yeah. And, he's a ex-pro fighter, and he was shouting off in the police station. Now he looked like me, bit Mediterranean, dark sort of skin, Mediterranean skin and olive skin, and so he was shouting off. So they knew they wanted to charge me for the murder because they thought in their minds it was me and this other person. So they nicked about 6 people, and in the end they let me go and the others, and they kept 2 because this certain ex-boxer, he said, send who you want down there, I'll fucking do a order to the old bill. He was threatening the superintendent.
Right, okay.
Whereas I was just cool sitting there. I was the actual manager of the pub, so I had an entitlement to be there. Yeah. You understand? So I was an ex-doorman, but then I took over the pub. And they nicked him, and they nicked my mate for murder. But where they went wrong was when it went to the Old Bailey, the jury come out and said to the judge, can we find one guilty and one not guilty? Because the guy who was supposed to be charged with, not the boxer, the other one, they was 99.9% sure it was him. Yeah. But they didn't know about my mate who was the boxer. They couldn't find whether it was him or not. Okay. So they wanted to find my pal, who I knocked around with, guilty, and the other one not guilty. So the judge said, no, they can't do that because they've done it as a joint venture. Mm. They've charged them as a joint venture. So you either find one guilty, 2 not guilty, or 2 guilty. Yeah, and that's how it worked. So they got off.
They got off?
Yeah, they got off. They walked. Yeah, the pair of them walked. All because the boxer was rearing up. Yeah. But he done my mate a favour in the end, even though they had to do a little lay down.
What year was this?
85.
85, okay.
August 85. It was bank holiday. And in the book, there's a big story coming out in there. I won't go deep in it because it's a big chunk of my book. Mm. And it's that night when that murder happened, me and my pal were supposed to go on Lenny McLean. Yeah. Because I was going to... Lenny McLean, what happened was I had a big row in a club, in this club, where in Woodford Town Football Club, where all the fights used to take place, the unlicensed fights. Lenny used to fight there. And then I had a fight in there, and I chopped the geezer up badly. I hurt him very bad. And this went on for a few weeks, and there was a family that owned it from Bow, a big family, and they got Lenny to go on the door there. Okay. And then Lenny sent a message out to me to tell me, Peter DeFreitas, you're barred, like that. I mean, who the fuck's he talking to? Because, I can't roll around the floor with Lenny McLean. I'm not sitting here trying to say I could. He'd smashed the granny out of me. Yeah. But he was going to get something that night he didn't want. Yeah. But because of the murder, it stopped. It
calmed it all down.
Yeah, he would have got something he didn't want that night. Trust me. It was all set up, all planned, everything. 2 of us was going on him. Yeah. So he was lucky. Yeah. I had a meet with him after, Lenny. I had a big meet with him. He shook me hands and everything. Give me a cuddle. He goes on.
Did he know you were game to do that when he gave you a cuddle after?
No, he didn't. Okay. I was on him. No. He wanted to meet Peter DeFreitas. Yeah. Who's this Peter DeFreitas geezer? Because he's heard stories, obviously. Yeah. And he knows that I'm game. I'm not saying, hard one. He knows I'm game. So he wanted to meet. So we had a meet in my mate's car showroom. And I met him. And I didn't know him. I mean, I know Roy Shaw very well, but I didn't know Lenny. Roy Shaw was my manor, plus he fights where I work. Mm. So, so I knew, I met him, and I just said, look, it's pointless you and me having a fucking tear up, because one of us is going to die. Yeah. It's easy as that. There's no other outcome. I said, I can't roll around the floor with you, Len, you're too big. I told him. Mm. And he went to me, no, I don't want no trouble with you. He said, we're pals. And he shook me hand. He had fucking fingers like sausages.
Sausages,
yeah. He shook me hand. He went, all right, boy. He says, you're all right. Don't worry about that. We're pals. And we was all right after that. Yeah. I didn't trust him. No. Never trust anyone you're going to have a row with. Never. That's the biggest mistake. That's why I look like this and not fucking tuned up. You know what I mean? Because I'm not stupid. You know, I never trust anybody. You know, if I'm having an argument or a row with somebody and they're rowing back aggressively, I could never trust that person in a million years.
Yeah.
Whether it's 5 years later, 10 years later, I won't trust him.
Yeah. Do you hold on to grudges?
I can do, yeah. It depends on what grudge it is. Yeah, there's a certain person out there, not male, but a female, done something to me that I don't like.
Yeah.
And every night I go to bed, I have to force myself, literally force myself from stopping going to do something.
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to cost me my liberty.
Yeah.
And it will cost me my liberty. I come that close to doing that fucking close. And my best mate, who I've been mates with for like 50 odd years, he begged me not to do it. Begged me. He said, Peter, please don't. For me, don't. Yeah. He knew I was going to go on it. Because when as I say, sometimes I just really, really force myself to stop, you know? Yeah.
What do you do? Do you just see red straight away and there's no stopping you?
I'll give you an example. I was in the co-op about 4 weeks ago. I'm in the queue, just waiting in the queue. And I even had a little white beard. So I looked 10 years older. So I'm standing in the queue. This geezer, Turkish geezer, I think he's Turkish. He's come up, he's gone, can I jump in there? Like, you know, in his accent. He said, can I jump in there? I said, no, there's a fucking queue here, mate.
Yeah.
So he's gone, I want to jump in here. I said, well, you can't. And then he's rearing up on me, he's threatening me and everything, all sorts. He's going to do this to me, he's going to do that to me, he's going to smash me around the fucking co-op and all that. And I just looked at him and I said, mate, if only you knew. Yeah. If only you knew. That's what I said to him. If only you knew. And I had a fucking thing on me.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, mate. I don't walk around. I've got to cover my arse. You know what I mean? I'm an old man now. And I went, if only you knew. Yeah. That's what I said to him. Because I would have taken his life straight off him. Yeah. If he put one hand on me, he'd have died that day. I don't go looking for it, but it just goes to show you that you don't know. You don't know you're messing.
Agree.
You know, you just don't know.
Yeah. You don't know what's going on in other people's minds behind closed doors. You don't know who's who.
But he's in the co-op, nearly lost his life over jumping in the queue.
Yeah, which you would have lost your life.
Yeah, oh yeah, my liberty would have gone, yeah.
Oh, God.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Do you know who killed the Essex boys?
I've heard stories. Look, I know all the Essex boys. I know they were. The only one I don't know is the really big guys. What's his name?
Tucker.
No, Tucker worked for me.
Yeah, okay. Did he work for you? Did he?
He worked with me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, with Nigel a couple of times. You know.
Yeah.
Once or twice he done the shows, and he done the Gerald McClellan show. So they come round at my house before to meet me before we went and got Nigel, because I had to. Him, Colton, come round, and I had to tell them what I wanted them to do.
Didn't they take the belt out?
The belt?
Did they take the belt out? Did they walk Nigel out?
Yeah, they walked him out on the fight. Yeah,
okay.
On the Gerald McClellan fight.
Okay.
Yeah, but what it was, when I left from my house to go to Nigel's in Beckenham to pick him up, I had my driver driving, and they followed. And I said, look, when we get there, don't talk to Nigel. Let him talk to you. Because he switched on now. He's got to go to work now.
Yeah.
Because I went in there, they stayed outside. I went in his house and I went up to him. He was on the decks playing his decking. He was a DJ, with his headphones.
Yeah.
And this was like 2 hours before he's fighting, 3 hours before he's fighting. So he's playing his
good
music.
DJ, to be fair. Yeah.
I've never heard him.
Yeah.
So he's doing his DJing, and I walked in the room and he said, he just went, me, all right, mate. And I went, all right, Nigel. I said, time to go to work, mate. He said, okay, Pete. And he put his stuff away. We got in the car, in my G-Wagon, I think I had it, or whatever. And we got there, and then when we got there, I said to him, don't talk to him, leave him be, because he's now switched on.
Yeah.
But what happened when we got there, I made him stay outside the door. I didn't want him in the dressing room, so I told him to stay out, Colton and Tucker. But they did walk him out, yeah. But that's all they did do, walk him out.
Yeah.
They done that about two or three times, maybe max.
And were they good mates with Nigel?
Now look, when we finished boxing and the boxing night was over, what he done after, I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Earn your money.
He's a grown man. He's a grown man. He knows right from wrong. So I'm not his master. What he done is his business.
Yeah.
But they are into drugs. Yeah. I won't be associated with drugs under any circumstances. I don't knock anybody for selling them. I don't knock anybody for taking them. That's their choice. But my choice is not to get involved. I don't no kicking through my front door when I'm sleeping by old Bill on drugs. You know, I don't want that. So I've never done it, and I've never took them. So I'm not being two-faced, you know. People know me now. I don't like drugs. I'm against them. So because they do what they do, I never got involved with Nigel afterwards once he started knocking around with them. Because that was only later on he started doing that.
Yeah.
Early doors, he never done none of that. He was up for training, getting fit, getting, as you say, when you got silk pajamas on.
Yeah, you ain't going to go right. Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I don't care what fighter it is, when you're earning the money and your lifestyle changes and you got a big fucking 8-bedroom house and 3 cars out the front and you're looking like you're living in Beverly Hills, because he had a big gaff in Beckenham. Because I was with him when he bought it, so I know what he paid for it, and his life, what he does away from boxing, is not mine. We're friends away from boxing if we're doing things together, like we do it just me and him. But when he knew that when he was doing things with them, I wasn't involved. He never asked me to go with him anywhere with them, and that's a fact. I'm not saying I've never ever seen Nigel take a drug, but I know he has done. So I'm not sitting here saying he hasn't.
Yeah.
I know he has done, but I know I've never seen him sniff coke, which I don't believe he'd ever done. I know he takes them easy. He takes them for partying. I know that. And he's been mangled and all that out of his head. Yeah, but that only happened later on in life.
Okay.
Once he got the money.
Yeah.
And he was basically secure to a degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You never have enough, but he's always... But to hang around with him, and I stayed away from him. Because...
Good move.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know how naughty they were?
They're not naughty.
Yeah.
I'm not being honest. I'll sit here and I'll tell them to their face, you ain't naughty, you're bullies.
Yeah.
They're fucking bullies. Putting injections in people, knocking them over with injections and tying them up and bullying them. And I know the people who were supposed to have done it.
Yeah.
All right? Or organised it, shall we say.
What, the shooting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know the people who were supposed to have organised it, not shoot it.
Yeah.
No one actually knows who done the shooting. Don't listen to anybody.
Yeah.
No one knows who actually done the shooting unless they was there and done it. Yeah? Or they organised it. And I know the people who was warning them about what they was doing. They was trying to, they think, because they could bully the little boys in Basildon, they could bully the boys at the top. This is what I'm saying. You get involved in this drug game, what happens is the higher you get, the more your life's on the line.
Of course, yeah.
Because there's always someone wants your lieutenant's job or your sergeant's job or your colonel's job. Do you know what I mean? The higher you go, the more dangerous it is. And I don't want that. Yeah. When you've got kids at home, you don't want your front door kicked in when your little kiddies in the house. You know what I mean? And look, if the worst I could get knocked for, if there was any violence in the area, the police would knock on my door, go, well, what was you doing? Where was you? Yeah, I've had that a few times. But they've never knocked on my door ever in my lifetime for drugs, ever, or even questioned me about it, because I don't do it. They know I don't. But if you
what were they like at the time?
Look, Colton I've known since I was 17.
Okay.
17, 18, so that's like 50 years.
Yeah.
I've known him a long, long time. I worked the doors with him. He ain't a bad fella, away from all this limelight shit and the gangster pretense. He's quite a nice fella. Yeah. I don't know why he has to do what he does. He should have done them films like he did, earned a couple of quid out of it, because he done it all wrong. He didn't contract himself up properly. He got mugged off. Terry Stone had him over. So he ain't a bad fella. Tucker, I don't really know that much. All I know is he was always okay with me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a podcast out called The Inquirer. I don't know if you know it. On one of the channels there, he done a certain thing saying Peter DeFreitas and Roy Shaw beat up Tucker and...
Who said that?
The guy who does The Inquirer.
Okay.
There's a podcast on it.
Yeah.
And one of the podcasts on The Inquirer it says Roy Shaw and Peter DeFreitas in bold letters beats up Tucker and the other geezer. Tate, that's it. Yeah. Tucker and Tate. Not Colton, Tucker and Tate. So they've got in touch with me and asked me for my view. I said, why are you asking me now you've printed it? Why didn't you ask me first? I apologised to him. I said, it's not true. Yeah. I've never hit Tony Tucker. I was supposed to have chinned him and broke his jaw. I said, I've never had an argument with the geezer. I've only met him 3 times in my life. Yeah. I said, so how do I, and he's put me in other podcasts, my name. I'm a dangerous person, and on this. I said, he's got no right to just do that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but I found Tucker okay, but he was with me, but I didn't really know him that well. Yeah. I knew Colton very well. Yeah. That's the only one I knew very well. I'd never ever met Tate ever in my life. I don't think me and him would have got on.
Yeah.
I don't like people that bully like that.
No.
You know,
No one likes a bully, does it?
No. I mean, look, if you're gonna have a fight, it's like I lost my eye fighting, right? Jesus, I got stabbed twice in the back of the head with a knuckle duster with a blade on the end of it. Jesus done me. There was a big old row in a pub. It's got
Where were you?
In Canning Town.
Yeah.
Plaistow.
Yeah.
And I was in a boozer there with my friend watching, going in there. We was going in there to have an argument with his brother. Anyway, a fight's gone off with my mate and he's chinned his brother and it's all gone off. It was full of geezers, all geared up, all the ICF geared up, watching England v Finland on March or something in 2001. So I've gone in there and all I could hear someone shout was, "Get the big geezer." Now I was 20. I was 20 stone. I'm down to 16 now because I had cancer.
Yeah.
But I was 20 stone. I was a big lump, you know. And all I'd done, all of a sudden I felt this fucking wet down the back of my head. I didn't feel nothing going in. Yeah. Just felt this wet going in the back of my head. So I've gone like that. It's fucking claret, but it was pouring out. Yeah. Not just coming out. It was pouring out. Well, fuck me, at this rate, I'm gonna fucking die here. You know, I turned around. He's gone fucking bang straight through the eye. With a knuckle duster with a knife on it. And all the knuckle duster smashed all my eye socket here. This is a false eye.
Bloody hell.
See? And what happened was he stabbed me straight in the eye before I could know anything.
Yeah.
Now, fair dues if you're getting chivved up. I can understand that. But to do it from behind is a fucking coward's way. You know, come and face me if you're going to do it. I can understand that. You know, but as I turned round, he went bosh straight through the eye.
Are they still about these days?
Oh no, I sorted that. Yeah. He's gone long time.
Yeah.
He went long time, mate. He got put on a promise and he had to pay big bucks.
Yeah.
He's gone. He had to leave London.
Yeah.
I gave him a choice. Big payment and you leave London.
Yeah.
You don't fucking live here no more. He's gone. He moved his business and everything. Yeah. He had to. He was going under otherwise. I can't allow that.
Yeah.
You know? So at the time, the only reason he's still here is because I had 2 young kids at the time and they needed me, you know? I mean, my brothers went fucking mad. I got brothers, you know, they went mad.
How many brothers you got?
I got 3 brothers, yeah. 2 older.
Are they all game?
Oh, my 2 older ones, oh, fuck me, yeah. Yeah, we're known, the family's known, you know. But we lived in East London all our life, you know, so. But we don't run around the streets like lunatics. You know, we just everyday
do
people.
Your thing, yeah,
just an everyday person. I try to be kind and nice to people, but when
you cross the line.
Yeah, but when I was young, I was bad because I worked with somebody that we used to earn big bucks going to do what we did. You know, doing people for money, collecting money. If they didn't pay, we'd go in and sort them out.
Yeah,
but them days are gone now. You know.
What age group were you going around debt collecting?
Well, I started the door when I was 16, believe it or not. But debt collecting, I was doing debt collecting from the age of properly 30.
Okay.
I was around about 30 when I was earning good money. Yeah. 25, 30, yeah. Between 25 and 30 was my good years. Yeah.
How old were you when you started working with Nigel?
I was probably around 30 years old. Yeah.
So you were earning good though, debt collecting, and then you and Nigel got it on.
Yeah.
And then you stopped the collecting.
He said to me, he told me straight, he said, look, Peter, I can't have all this.
Yeah.
I can't have you doing what you do.
Yeah.
He said, your reputation's bad. Like, you got a bad reputation. We got to clean it up. He said, I love you with me. He said, I love you being around me. He said, but we got to clean it up. He went out. I'll never forget. He took me straight up to Hugo Boss, bought me a suit. Crombie. Yeah, he bought me. Everything. He didn't. Nice. He was really good to me.
Was he generous with you?
Yes, very.
Very.
I'll tell you, he was the most generous man I've met in my life.
That's nice to hear.
He was, yeah.
Did you see, what year did you stop working with him? Like properly?
1997.
1997. And then what happened when you stopped working together? Why was that? Is that because you wanted to manage other people?
No, you retired.
Or you just retirement, bang, done?
Yeah, retirement, bang, done. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we done other things. I stayed in boxing. I started getting the fighters. I had Sean Cummins, who fought for the British title against Neville Brown. I had him. I'd done a bit with Jimmy Tibbs. He taught me a lot, Jimmy.
Good fighter?
No, trainer.
Trainer, sorry.
Yeah, good trainer. Oh,
and what his family as well?
Yeah, I worked with Jim. I worked with his son, Mark, when he fought in Nigel's Bill in Glasgow. I worked his corner. Yeah, I worked his corner in Glasgow.
Do you enjoy being in the corner?
I did. I don't do it no more.
Or do you prefer being a manager?
I prefer the managers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but if it was Nigel, I had to be in the corner.
Yeah.
Because I'm not just saying it. He was part of me.
Yeah.
Do you understand? We was that close.
Did you feel like when you split up though? Did you feel like you were in a marriage that you got divorced and it's like, where's my best mate gone?
Yeah.
Was it like that?
Yeah.
How long did it feel like that for? Do you reckon?
Oh, quite a while. I still miss him now,
Yeah.
and it's been years. He was. We had such a fucking good relationship.
Yeah.
I can't understand how one silly little thing like that changed his views. Because even today, I won't change my standards. I ain't going to slag him off, even if he slags me off. I would never slag him off because I can't tell lies on him because he's never done me no wrong, really. He was only good to me. So how can you slag somebody if it was only good to you? You can't. I'm not going to make up stories. And I won't discuss his sex life with anybody. You know, they keep asking me, how many birds he have and what did he do and, and all this. And I say, listen, that's between him and the people he was with. I'm not going to sit in there and discuss his personal life. Yeah. Or they want me to talk about his family. How did he get on with his wife and all this away? They want to know the ins and outs. That was one of the things when I was going to do a book ages ago. I was thinking about doing a book and I spoke to someone and they went, oh, you've got to put Nigel in there and it's got to be this and it's got to be that and we've got to know about his own life and all that. No, I fucking won't discuss his own life. That's his business.
Respect.
I won't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I've never slated him ever, not once.
So you split in 97 and 2002 he wanted you to go to court?
Round about 2001, 2002.
So what was that period like? There was in 97 when you split. Did you feel like you had split with your missus, like a divorce? Or were you still? It
was like losing a brother.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like losing a brother.
So what was that period like between 97 and 2001 before he asked you to go do the court?
Oh, we got on well. We was doing things.
You just carried on as normal.
We still see each other, yeah.
Because he wasn't fighting, it wasn't as intense.
No, it wasn't intense.
Okay,
no.
okay.
And he had no holds on me and I had no holds on him.
Yeah.
Before he had a massive hold on me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was the boss.
Yeah.
I worked for Nigel Benn. I mean, he didn't work for me. I worked for him. So he was the boss. But he was a good boss, if you know what I'm saying. He wasn't a liberty taker. Yeah. But there and again, I would have put my foot down if he did. He knew that.
Yeah.
So we had an understanding from day dot because we both come from the same area. That's what I'm saying. I can't understand how he feels that we've fallen out. No, I've seen him since, so everything's okay now.
But you saw him in 2017?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But he's very busy, obviously, with Conor.
How long did you see him for?
The day. I spent the day with him.
Spent the whole day. Did you bring all this up with him? Or was it didn't feel right at the time? Just like, let's just see each other at face value as we are.
No, look, you could look at this two ways. Did he come and see me to see if I wanted to say anything to him?
Okay.
There could be that.
Yeah.
Or did he just come to see me?
As his old mate.
As his old mate,
yeah.
Exactly, and his manager. Because I'd done a fucking good job for him.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong, I was well and highly well paid, don't get me wrong, but I'd done a fucking good job for him. He would never be the Nigel Benn or have someone as loyal as me and be in the same position I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but I feel that people were taking a lot of liberties trying to rip him off. If it wasn't for me, I was strong, I stayed strong, I was good with him, I was loyal, he knew it. And he couldn't have done what I did and fight as well.
Yeah, okay.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Juggle both, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he couldn't have juggled both, it's too much.
Yeah.
And this is why a good fighter needs a good manager.
You need a good right-hand man, yeah.
Yeah, good right-hand man.
Yeah.
You don't have you don't have to go out there and jump. And another thing is, I never jumped in front of the cameras and Nicky's limelight. As his stage, I stayed back.
Properly loyal, Pete.
Yeah, I was
properly. Listen, hearing you now, mate. This is like properly loyal, mate on mate.
Yeah. Even now, I won't slag him off.
Yeah.
If he wants to slag me off, then
I don't think has he slagged you off though.
No,
or just a couple of little things.
Couple of silly little
Did that wind you up?
Nah. Like for instance, I know for a fact that he's told people don't talk about me on podcasts or on TV or whatever. That's one of the things Why? He ain't hurting me.
Yeah.
I had a bigger name than him before he was fucking
But
boxing.
why? Like Nigel, I've got a lot of respect for. Fantastic fighter, fantastic bloke.
Yeah.
Get it, London boy, East London boy, da. Would he not ever just go, do you know what? There was a period in my time that this geezer called Peter DeFreitas was unbelievable to me.
Mm.
He had my back at every angle.
Yeah.
He cut deals that I wouldn't have thought of, or I would have thought of, but we needed someone strong to go and cut the deal. Do you think he'd ever go, I need to big him up. I need to go back to that past, or is it respect to Nigel as well because he's kind of maybe moved on and gone. That period in my life is gone, and I've got this beautiful family and beautiful Australia, and everything's nice. I've got my boys and my family around. I kind of get that as well. But do you reckon that bit's cleared up for him?
Yeah, I think
He's done with it. Yeah, okay. And I respect that too.
Yeah, he's done with it. He's wiped that out. Yeah. I mean, like, for instance, Tony Sims wouldn't work with Conor if it wasn't for me.
He wouldn't?
No.
Okay.
Because Tony Sims only met Nigel Benn through me. Okay. Tony Sims was my pal. I worked the doors with his brother Peter.
Yeah.
So I introduced Tony to Nigel.
And then Nigel said, yeah, work with Conor.
No, when he brought him over. Yeah, I'm talking about years ago.
Yeah,
I introduced Tony to Nigel.
Yeah.
Because Tony was my pal. We used to knock around together. You know, when Nigel fought, Tony would come as my guest, as a VIP guest, before he was even in boxing.
Okay.
And he'll come afterwards and meet me for a meal with my accountant, who's Tony's mate.
Okay.
So Tony's mate was my accountant.
Yeah.
Tony was my pal as well. Peter was a friend. I worked the doors with Peter. So that's who Tony got involved with Met Nigel through me. He would never been in boxing if it wasn't for me. I trained Tony to where he is. Yeah. Not where he is today.
He's one of the best of the world, right?
Yeah, I've got him his licenses.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done very well, and I'm pleased for him because he's a very, very nice man. He's loyal as well.
Is he?
Oh, yeah. Loyal as fuck. Yeah, Tony. He's just
lovely.
He's got the same output as me.
Yeah.
With Tony, he's very quiet.
Yeah.
He don't speak a lot.
Yeah, okay.
He lets the proof is in the pudding, isn't it? And he's proved that. He can do the job, you know.
Did you see Nigel change over the years when more money got involved, and then he knows that you're off the scene as soon as he's fought? He's like, well, I'm going to go and party and have fun. Did you see a change in him, his personality?
Big time, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course you see the changes because, as I say, when I first started with him, he was as hungry as fuck. Then, as the time goes on, the first thing you notice is they don't want to train as much.
Okay.
They cut their training down. That's the first signs that they're on the not on the slide, but
they've earned enough dough that they're sort. Okay.
Yeah, the heart's not in it as much. You know what I'm saying? You can see it. But if you say anything, they dump down your throat. What are you getting involved for?
Okay.
It's like I said to him once, I'll never forget it, I gave him some advice on finance. Yeah. Well, I thought I was anyway. And he went to me, why are you interested in my money? I said, no, I'm not interested in your money, mate. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to think of the best things for you. No, he said, don't ever worry about me and my money. I said, okay, no, I'll never mention money again to him.
Okay.
Never. Because he put me in my place. He didn't want me to get involved, and I respect that.
Yeah.
You know, and if he lost his money, whatever he's done with his money is his business, isn't it? You know, whatever I done with mine, I done. Yeah. You know. But obviously I never know near what he did. But I know, as I say, he was fair to me. I can't knock him. He was a fair man. You know, he was good to me. And my family was good too. But I say the only thing I'm not upset, I'm just shocked, is how one silly little thing like that has bore over for so many years.
What's that? That's 24 years ago.
Yeah, 27 probably. Yeah,
24.
24. Yeah.
Yeah, what you took roughly 2002 and now 2026, 24.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. All the 2000s.
Yeah.
It's basically gone.
Yeah.
Whereas in the 90s, you couldn't pass.
Yeah.
Just look on the videos and the films. It's all there.
Yeah.
Every press conference, everywhere. I was there I was doing them. You know, I was there in a suit, tie, whatever. I was there.
What was it like being around East London, Essex, around the time when the Essex boys, whole thing kicked off, when they got shot and murdered?
Well, most of my pals said it was a good thing.
Okay.
You know, because a lot of anyone that's half decent don't really get involved in drugs. They don't like them. You know, especially when kids are involved, you know, and when that Leah Betts died, that really rocked a lot of people. It's like this Iran thing. If it wasn't for the girls getting killed in the school,
what's this one? Say again?
In Iran, they dropped a bomb, America, on the first day on a girls' school. 6 years to 12 years old school girls, 148 girls killed. Fucking wrong, isn't it, man? How can you not know there's a girls' school? With today's missile technology, you know, it's the same sort of thing, you know.
Do you think the old Bill killed the Essex boys?
No.
I think because there's loads of rumours. No. Everything you hear about is the old Bill. It's his mate.
They got killed by their own people. Their own people killed them. Trust me.
Okay.
Look, when you're trying to take over something that somebody's earning so much at, you ain't gonna last
on toes. Okay.
Yeah, you ain't gonna last long. Yeah. You know, it's like they was earning a nice little earner. He had a big house in Tucker. Had a big house, Merc, sports, money, shot a little business going. Why do you want to go and take over the hand that feeds you? It's like me stealing from Nigel every contract.
Yeah.
Because I can get away with it for so long, and then when Nigel finds out I've lost everything. It's like that money
Yeah.
when I took from Paul Croxford, level
Yeah.
42, the manager. If I'd kept that, look how many hundreds of thousands I would have lost.
Yeah.
Just by being greedy
Yeah.
for 40 grand.
Yeah.
But you screw your loaf,
Yep.
you go, there's your money, Nige.
Mm.
Boom. I'm loyal, I'm honest. He goes,
Yeah.
yeah, Pete, I know you are. Bang. Got it. And then he kept me on. He said, I want you to stay with me. Because he knew I was loyal.
Yeah.
Whereas if I kept the 40G, look at what I'd have lost.
Has there been any promoters in your period of time in boxing that you didn't trust?
Honestly, I never trusted Barry Hearn. I couldn't trust him because I knew Chris Eubank was his number one.
Okay.
And also, Frank, you've got to be on your toes with. Yeah. I mean, with Don King, I sort of had him wrapped up anyway by the banks.
Yeah.
So he couldn't do nothing to me.
Yes, you had that locked
Yeah,
in.
I had that locked
Okay.
in. So no matter what anyone else said about him, he couldn't do that with me. This is England. This ain't USA.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In the USA, he might have took a chance and tried to fuck me over and get away with it because he pays off people, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But in this country, he can't get away with it.
Mm.
So, you know, if you work with Don King and you know how to... I'm a good manager.
Mm.
I'm sitting there and I'm blowing my own trumpet. I'm a
Yeah.
good manager.
Yeah.
I know how to work boxing.
Mm.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, fighters, haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
They're getting ripped off every day.
Have you come across Mr. Ambrose?
Of course I did. I had a row with Ambrose Mendy. I bashed him up, didn't I? I had a street fight with him. And he sun whacked me round the face with a bottle. And it broke, the bottle, but he didn't cut me. And I said to him, that was his dad, like he was about 18, only a kid, 17 or 18 he was. He whacked me around while I was giving it to his old man.
Yeah.
He smashed me around the face with a bottle. And I said, if you'd cut me, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
If you'd cut me, I said, you'd be gone.
Yeah.
But he never cut me. And I swallowed that from the kid. But the old man, I sorted out, and then had a big to and fro with his brother. They was sending out messages and all that, and just called it on. Said, you know where I'm, just tell me and I'll meet you.
Mm.
And they didn't want it in.
Because Ambrose was heavily involved in boxing for a period, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was of Nigel. Stole off of Nigel. He stole some money off of Nigel, and then the banks were at fault for letting him do it. So I made them put it back in his account, and that was the end of Ambrose. Because I was with Ambrose and Nigel.
Yeah.
I was only security at first. That's how I started with him originally, and then I flew to America. He fought in when he won his first world title against Doug DeWitt.
Mm.
I was there with him. I walked him out, but I wasn't involved in anything. That was when he beat Doug DeWitt. I was there.
Could you see an angle? You're being security, you've been flown at, you're going, I love Nigel to bits. I'm bang on the ball, I'm switched on, I know what's going on. I don't care if they've been in the game for a long time, I can handle this. Where was it?
I never fought that then.
No,
I was just security, and when he fought Eubank 1 at NEC Birmingham.
Yeah.
I was there.
You were there?
I was there, I walked him out.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there all he fights.
Yeah.
And then...
But you weren't his manager on the fight,
No,
first fight?
No, just
okay.
security.
Who was managing on the first fight?
Ambrose was he wasn't a manager, Ambrose. He hasn't got a licence. He never has a licence. All he is an agent.
Yeah.
So he was agent. That's all he had. He trusted Ambrose at the time. Because Ambrose done a very clever thing. I don't know if you know what he done. I'll quickly tell you what he done. Years ago, he got all the black guys in the sports. He got hold of them, and he says to each one of them, including Nigel,
yeah,
if I get you work, you give me 20% of what I get you, right? So Linford Christie, all them, when he had the black pack.
Paul Ince.
At
West Ham when he had
and they called him the black pack.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Right. When they used to walk around in the shell suit.
Yeah.
Right. Well, in that day, that's what he done. He got them all together, and not all together, but he got them in his office.
Yeah.
In over London Bridge, Tower Bridge.
Mm.
He had a office upstairs there. All in there signing a contract. Yeah, 20% of whatever work he gets. Then what he done is he called their agent. So everybody thinks, oh, he's got all these people, and then all these other fighters and people were going to him because he was an agent.
Mm.
But that's how he got away with it. He never had no work for him. He said, if I get you any. So they've all signed these contracts for 20%.
Yeah.
But it was a clever move because it made him big.
Yeah.
He got on the telly. He's clever. He knew what he was doing.
On the ball, wasn't he?
Yeah, the next thing he went and done, I think he was his legs or something. He insured for so many million and all this crap and got on the telly, or Nigel's legs or whatever it was, and he insured them on for millions, his hands and all that, with fighters and runners. And he built himself up but he got high on his own bullshit, if you see what I mean. He didn't come back down to reality that this is all I ain't got nothing really. I'm an empty vessel. Loads of names, but an empty vessel. He got the odd job here, the odd job there. But for his own promotion and self-promotion, he looked great. I mean, people say to me now, sometimes at fights, they go, oh yeah, you man, bro. Nigel, he managed Nigel. I said, no, he never managed him. I said, he was an agent. I said, Nigel made the mistake of letting him be his agent. I said, and so did many other people. And they go, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, well, we thought he was his manager. But that's how he built himself up, see? Nobody realises he's never had a boxing licence in his life, in any capacity. Yeah. Really, he should have been fined every time he went in the corner because he was an unlicensed fighter, trainer.
I've had Ambrose on the podcast.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. He's okay. Don't get me wrong, I got no problems with him. Me and him still speak if I saw him, because he's from my manor. Yeah. I don't live that far from him. He lives in Thaden Boyce. I live in Chigwell. Out that way. So we're only 2 minutes away from each other. I've got let him what happened all them years ago.
Yeah. Is there one moment in your life that really stands out as the pinnacle?
Oh yeah, it's got to be when Gerald McClellan got put down.
Okay,
it's got to be that.
Yeah,
there'll never be nothing apart from my children being born. I can't see anything ever than that. It weren't even like he picked up a world title or something. He was he was defending his title, but it was the fact that we was bullied.
Yeah.
And forced to fight. And I told Frank Warren a month before that fight, I said, have your outs on Nigel, man. I'll tell you, he's in shape that you won't believe. I said, he's up for it. And all these people, I just want to say this to everybody out there. All these people who say that Nigel was on gear, that's not Nigel Benn. Trust me, that ain't Nigel Benn. I can't speak for Conor. I don't know Conor.
Yeah.
But I can only speak for Nigel. And whilst I was with me, I never ever, and I ain't a liar, I never saw him take any drugs. He took vitamins, and desiccated liver tablets and things like that for training. Yeah, because he done weights and all that. Now, I'm not really up on all that, but I can honestly say this to people. If he did take drugs, I wouldn't have known, because I don't take drugs myself, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm aware, I've never seen that man take a drug. All right? And I know he would have confided in me somewhere along the line in training camp. Yeah, and he didn't look no different to what he normally done. He didn't do nothing like crushing it or anything like that. Like kind of goes, I'm crushing it in the gym. Nigel never ever come to me and said, or I never ever saw him doing anything extraordinary. I saw him train harder and focus on what he did and up his miles a couple, another 2 miles kilo. Instead of 8, he might do 10 or whatever. I can say he's done that, but I can honestly look at the public and say, I've never seen that man take any drugs. That ain't him. He ain't a cheat. That's one thing I will say. Because he was prepared to go out on his shield there,
What was that feeling like going out and fighting Gerald McClellan that time? And what was the feeling like with yourself and Nigel afterwards, knowing what had happened?
Well, I was in an ambulance. We rushed to hospital on a blue light. I was in the ambulance. It was only me and Nigel in the ambulance because when you're a manager of a fighter, I don't know if people know this, but when you're a manager of a fighter, not even their parents are overrule me. I'm in charge of that man. Till he's ruled safe, I'm in charge because he signs a contract that I'm in charge. Yeah. So when he got rushed to hospital afterwards, it was only dehydration. He was fatigued and dehydrated, So we got him into the hospital, got him some fluids in him. He was fine. Come home that night. Whereas Gerald was on the next bed. I saw him. He was in a terrible state. Nigel beat him up bad, man. From round 7, I think it was, to 10, he took a good hiding in there. And then took some heavy shots in there and his head. Because Nigel can bang,
Yeah.
People don't realise he's as strong as a lion, mate. Yeah. I've never seen anyone stronger for his age. Size, I mean. He's a 12-stone man in the ring. When he was, he weighed in 12 stone. But he punches like a cruiserweight, trust me. Yeah, I've had the guys come up to me in sparring afterwards, the cruiserweights that we get, and they come back and they go, Jesus, man, he punches like a donkey kicks. That's what they say. That was the exact words.
Yeah.
He punches like a donkey kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, I know he punches hard. He does punch hard.
So what was that? What went through your mind and Nigel's mind post-fight? Nigel was safe, and then knowing what happened to Gerald.
He went, that'll teach them. Fucking send him over to beat me up.
Yeah.
Bash me up. No, he ain't bashing me up. He goes, oh, I'm up for that. He goes, I was up for that like a motherfucker. He wasn't all. See, it was like, he's being threatened and they're going to knock him out and take his belt off him. That's That's his living. That's his future. You know, without that belt, you're 50% of the man. You know. Yeah, he might look good in the ring and give exciting fights, but all they're going to do is put him in with guys who's going to fight him equally back. You know.
Is that the worst thing to do to Nigel? People tell him what they're going to do to him.
Yeah.
Like, it rile him up even more.
It's like me.
Yeah.
Very much the same we are.
Yeah.
We don't like being bullied like that. That's bullying, isn't it?
Yeah.
And just because they've got the ability to do it, you know. But then Nigel, give him his credit, he stood his ground. You know. A lot of fighters will go, oh, all right, bring Michael Nunn in, I'll fight him. And Nigel stood his ground. No, I don't want to fight the geezer. What do I want to fight him for? You know.
Have you ever in your life had the fear of anyone?
If I feared somebody that much, I'd have to disperse of them. I'd have to liquidate them because I ain't liquidating, you know, if I feared somebody that much. Because I don't really get feared easy. I mean, I'm quite a, you know, a big size. I can look after myself. So I don't really fear anyone, and I try not to put myself in a position for that to come back. But if I really feared somebody, mate, they'd have to go. Sorry. You know, I would. I'd have to. Yeah, I couldn't have that. I couldn't live in fear. If I thought someone was coming on me, I'd have to take them out before they took me out. Yeah. If I heard somebody was coming on me, I'd make it was concrete first. Evidence. You know, it'd have to be proper, and then I'd have to go to work. I'd have to put my coat on. Yeah. You know.
Have you ever clashed with Chris Eubank Senior?
Yes, I have. Big clash. Yeah. As I said to you earlier, he went to me, oh, what you doing on telly? And I went, oh, without me, you ain't getting a fight. He says, thanks to me, you're getting a fight. Because Nigel wasn't bothered whether he fought him or not, to be fair.
Was he not?
No, Nigel wasn't. Chris Eubank didn't really excite Nigel Benn.
Okay.
He wasn't worried about the loss.
Even though they hated each other.
Yeah, and Nigel never cared about the loss either. He went, the best man won on the night. He trained like a champion. I didn't. Okay. He beat me fair and square. He said, he trained like a champion. I never.
Right.
So that's my fault. I've got to live with that. That was Nigel's attitude. But then he said, I'm not bothered about rematching him. It don't bother me. The money's got to be right if I'm going in the ring again. But he said, you know, because obviously they want him to fight for peanuts. The less they can pay him, the more they make. Yeah. So obviously they tried to put it on the balls. But once I got involved, there was none of that.
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
Nigel Benn never had no problems with money from the day I worked for him to the day he left, to the day we retired. I made sure of it. He had no problems. Never had no worries during...
When you were with him, what sort of other deals away from the fight game were you doing? Was there sponsors? What sort of sponsors were coming on board? Were the phones ringing? You're taking the calls, going, yeah, you can do that. Nigel put his name to that.
Nigel got a few sponsors himself. His main one was No Fear.
I remember
the clothes.
Clothing brand, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we had all No Fear gear all the time. All the he made all the...
that suited him as well, didn't it?
Yeah, No Fear on his shorts. Yeah. And he used to get a lump sum off him every month. And they was our main sponsors. Then we had sponsors in Tenerife that used to give us the apartments and the cars and all that. We got all that. Global Homes. Yeah. It was trying to remember all the names.
Yeah, it's
Global. Yeah, it's a long time ago. Yeah, Global Homes. That was a big one. They was very good to us. Global Homes. They were excellent.
Where would you stay in Tenerife? Not the actual club. What area would you be staying in?
Torreviscus.
Okay.
Torreviscus down San Andreas. Yeah, the nice apartments here. Yeah. I owned one of them.
Did you?
Yeah, I bought one. Yeah.
How did you earn? When you talk about all the cars and then you had the big house in the cars there, how would you say that's? How quickly did that sort of fizzle out? Do you know, as you get older, like you were like 67 now, did you invest it well, or was it not invested well, or were you?
No, I was okay. Yeah. But what happened was I got a phone call one day from my accountant. Now I owned my house, my big house. I had the deeds to the property under the settee. Yeah. The deeds were under the settee. I'll never forget. And my accountant rang me one day. He went, Pete, the tax man's been on the phone. They want to look into you. They keep seeing you in the Sun newspaper every day. So I said, yeah, they asked me a few questions. And they go, yeah, but to them, you're earning fortunes. He said, you got to get rid of your house. He said, you got no mortgage on it or nothing? I said, no. So he said, oh, you got to get rid of that. So I sold my house. I said, I swore I'd never sell. It's worth probably now 1.5 million. Yeah. It'd have about 8 cars in the front and about 20 in the back. You know, that's how big it was. Yeah. So, and I owned it. So now I would have had I could have gone abroad and lived, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have to live in this shithole, you know? Well, To be quite honest with you,
Yeah.
you know, I don't like this country no more. I'm fed up with it. But I don't want to go into detail on that anyway. But I had that house, and then what happened was I sold it, and that was the biggest mistake, because when you've just got pie mash in your hand,
Yeah. It can go
it
easy,
soon
can't
goes,
it?
it can go very easy. Yeah. And when you're young, you're foolish. I mean, looking back now, I should be sitting in the sun now, lapping up, you know, but I'm not.
Yeah. But you're happy.
But I'm very happy.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I'm happy. It's not that I'm happy. I'm comfortable within myself.
Content, yeah.
Yeah, content with myself.
Yeah.
I don't want for nothing. I've got my wardrobe is the main thing to me. I like lovely clothes. Yeah, I like nice clothes. So I always like nice clothes when I go out. I like to look clean and tidy and nice. And I like I've got a car that I'm content with. Cars don't bother me. I only do 1,000 miles a year. I don't do much, so it don't bother me, cars no more. And I say I've got a nice flat that's nice. I'm really happy there. So 23 years I've been there. No.
Happy days, mate.
Yeah, but as I say, the money does go. But I divorced. When I got a divorce, my wife had to have an house, a place over her head. You know, so she got that. And I said to myself, I'm never buying another house again like that, the big house again. No, I don't need it. What do I need a big house for? It's only me. Yeah. So I'm comfortable as I am now.
Happy days, mate.
Yeah, I'm just comfortable.
Pete, I've really, really enjoyed this. Mate, these are some quality. I know, mate, this is quality. I'm looking up now. We've done 2.5 hours.
You're joking?
No, mate, it's flown. There's a little thing, because I'm locked into you. I don't have I freestyle everything. Yeah. I've just looked up now. It's 2.5 hours, and mate, I've got more. As you're talking, I'm thinking, what I'm going to do.
We'll have to do part 2.
Yeah, I'm saying if people want a part 2, if you like this and you want a part 2, just leave your comment why you liked it and get me a part 2. And if you fancy it, we'll do another one.
For those watching, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And my book's coming out.
And your book's coming out.
Yeah, book's coming out. Honest book.
And we're not going to give the name out, are we, just yet?
No.
So let people find out when it comes out. Maybe the part 2 is when we give the name of the book out. And we carry on and load more stories. I know there's load more.
Oh, I've done.
Yeah.
I've only
you've lived. You've probably lived, haven't you?
Yeah.
Lived an eventful life.
From the very bottom to the very top. I've lived every stage of the way.
Yeah.
I've done a journey.
Mate, this has been proper. I've really enjoyed this.
Thank you.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. I appreciate you making the effort coming down to Bournemouth.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a gentleman.
Thank you.
Good man, Pete.
Cheers. Thank you.
Nice one, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Good, mate. Thanks for watching, guys. If you'd like to see someone on the show, leave a comment below. And if you haven't already, do us a favour, show us a bit of love, press the subscribe button, and it allows us to grow the show even bigger and bigger each week. Nice one.